Blog Talk Radio.
10 years ago, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire LCS Hockey.
Well, I started this dance in my neighborhood. Now everybody's doing it because it feels so good. All you need is a partner that know how to move, and the rest is real easy. Just dig the groove. And when you get yourself started, it's hard to stop. You just go for your partners. You know what? And then you D-R-A-B-T-A-T-A-T-A-K-E-S. Ah, grab them cats.
And we're off. That's going to be the best song you hear tonight. This is the LCS Hockey Radio Show, brought to you as always by BackpagePress.com and by the number one non-updated hockey site in all the land, LCSHockey.com. LCS, come back at 10. Yeah, come back at 10. Mike Dell.
Yeah, grab them cakes, Junkyard Dog, JYD.
That was a request. That was a
From
request.
whom?
Kevin Jank on Facebook.
Because I don't know if you
Guys,
noticed,
over
but
there.
I just Twittered about that last week. Did you
What,
see
the
that?
Junkyard Dog theme?
Yeah, because Steve Wilton said he put out, our buddy Steve from England there, he put out a tweet saying, what's the most underrated rivalry in wrestling or in WWE history? And I replied, Junkyard Dog versus Them Cakes.
Ah, that's pretty funny.
And then I
missed
put up
it.
a video.
I blocked you on Twitter, so I didn't get
Oh.
to see it. That's a
That
good
makes
joke,
sense.
though.
Yeah.
It's funny, though.
Grab them cakes. Yeah.
Is that all you do?
I don't care what it takes. Yeah.
G-R-A-B. All right.
Now, I don't know
So,
what year that song came out, but I'm sure it was on Brandon's mixes.
I'm sure, yeah, whatever year, probably like 86-ish, 7.
Now, is Brandon here yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Brandon.
Hello? I wondered where Jerry bought his pantyhose. What is wrong with you? How? Yeah, that's horrible. How do you call yourself a man? Holy hell, I need to have these women.
Brandon?
What?
There he is, Brandon Damashek, cousin Brandon. It's my favorite episode of the year, Brandon. We're finally going to do it.
You know, it's my favorite episode because it's Larry's least favorite episode.
I hear you,
It's
man.
that much
It's
better.
Brandon's music review show where he will tell us the best music from 2013. We're a couple weeks late here, but that's all right. We're busy. Yeah, it's tough to
It's okay.
schedule.
We're all busy. What do you want?
So,
By the
so are
way,
you-
crab and cake's delightful.
yeah, isn't it though?
Yes,
Brandon,
that's great.
Are you excited about, or were you excited about 2013's musical bounty?
Well, here's what I thought. I thought there was a lot of great songs. I didn't think there was a lot of great albums. So yeah, I didn't think it was a particularly strong year for the record, but all the same, a strong year for singles and songs. Just not the record overall. Not a great.
And
not a
once
great
again, let's remind everyone, Brandon is a music scholar. He has.
Well, I'm
you
a music snob. I mean,
you have credentials. You know what you're talking about, right?
No,
I have some. Larry, I will remind you.
Yes.
I know you don't care, but I did write for Pitchfork for a few years.
That's right.
I did music news for those kids, and
listen, I wrote
I
for
didn't-
LCS Hockey for a few years. I don't know shit about hockey.
well, that is obvious. It's funny. Honestly, though, let me ask you. I listen to these shows on the weeks that I'm not on, and I hear the hockey talk about, and you clam up. But then every now and then you just spout up with some gem as if you are. Do you like hockey or do you not like hockey?
I like the Penguins. I'll watch the Penguins all day, but if it's not, if they're not involved, I could care less. And a lot of times, when I just bust out a gem, I'm just reading something Sean Leahy wrote.
I've never heard of him, but still, that's good. I mean, no, because it is odd. It's like I know Jim Ivino, come on, or the Puck Daddy, anybody comes on, Leahy, I know, and the talk it's endless. Where to the point, I'll be honest, I'm not bored, but again, I'm not a huge hockey guy, so I don't really know what's happening.
I'm bored.
Larry clams up. You know what? You may as well go away for the night. I don't see why Dallas isn't just like, no, I know he takes a little nap, he goes outside, he smells. You don't smoke those electronic cigarettes, do you, by the way?
Yeah, you know what? I just, Nick bought a bag of tobacco the other day, and inside of it was a...
He just came home with a bag of tobacco.
Yeah.
What kind of... Dude, is this like, 1900 Tombstone, Arizona? So like, what do you mean?
I'm picturing a flour sack of tobacco.
And I walked in and I put my gold piece on the bar and I got myself a whiskey. What the hell are you talking about?
She's dragging it behind her in a canvas sack.
She rolls her own cigarettes here, like on the weekend.
Oh, no, she's one of those? Oh,
yeah, because she can roll a carton for like $12 or something. But anyways,
so you have an e-cigarette?
It came with a free one to try, so that was the first time I ever tried it. It was weird. Like, I didn't hate it, but it was
That
odd.
seems like a weird promotion that a tobacco company would give you a free e-cigarette.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too. And the reason I ask is that's the other thing. Sometimes I can hear you dragging on what sounds like a cigarette on the show while you're on the air, but then I'm like, are you outside or are you inside smoking one of those funny cigarettes? Did you know that you can hear yourself smoking on the air?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
we
I
never
can hear you
listen to the
sometimes.
show.
Yeah,
you should listen sometimes. Oh, yeah. So do you actually go outside?
No, fuck no.
Yeah.
So what are you smoking then? You're clearly smoking, though.
I smoke.
You smoke in your house?
Yeah.
In your house?
Yes.
You're a filthy person. You're filthy.
What?
Well, Brandon, did you...
I'm gonna go outside in 10-degree weather just on the fucking rare chance that you show up, and I don't want my house to stink.
Please, yeah, better your house smells like Camel Joe visited for a week. Great.
Yeah, that means I don't. When I walk in the house, I don't smell it. I'm immune to it at this point. So like,
but
you
Brandon,
walk in, that's
did you hear
problem.
the tale of me going down to Larry's to watch the UFC?
Oh yeah, that's right.
I
How did I
reeked
forget
of smoke
this?
for like 3 days, and I'd be sweating out nicotine for days. It was
oh no, is that right?
Yeah, it's just awful.
Well, granted, though, usually you're probably sweating out tofu, so it's probably not the worst thing. But
I'm like
either way,
bubble, so I can't take that kind of stuff.
But,
all right, we're way off topic already, and we got to keep this a tight 60 because we got Adam Rank and Skylar the Sass coming in.
That's right. I don't want to intrude on their time. You're right.
Are you going to hang around a little, talk about Dave, or are you going to bail?
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
All right, but anyway, so the music, the best of it. Brandon knows his music. He loves his music. Larry hates Brandon's music, so this is always dynamite. I love this. Yeah.
This is the least favorite episode of the year.
Yeah. Now we're going to do things a little differently this year, Brandon. I was listening to your music, your mixes, and once again, tell the people about the history of the mixes and this year's version, just what it's called.
Absolutely. I've been doing this since, I think since 2001 or 2000. I make these best of mixes every year. I start curating it right at the start of the year. Move my music over in a little folder in the iTunes that says, best of 2013, best of 2012, whatever. I typically do 2 CDs a year, one of quote-unquote faster songs and one of quote-unquote slower songs. So this year I did positive and negative for the two.
Positive and negative.
The positive being the faster and negative being the slower. Yeah.
Now, Larry, if you had to describe Brandon's, because we've done the show now at least, 5 years, I think? 4 or 5 years?
Something like that. I think that's right.
How would you summarize, for people who have never heard Brandon's musical selections, how would you describe them, Larry?
Well, they're definitely hipster. They're hipster. It's that indie bullshit that you would see in some low-budget IFC film, some high-pitched playing behind a mandolin, or something fruity and shitty like that. Or it's some kind of garagey bullshit with, like Mumford and Son Light, a lot of that kind of stuff in there.
Oh, please. Oh, now that's an insult. I don't care for that, sir. I know that's your favorite. There is some Natalie Merchant Hootie this year. You will be...
yeah, that's the first Hootie joke.
By the way, hey, wait. Ask me really quickly, because I guarantee I'm correct on this. Michael Dell, ask me, what was Larry's favorite song in all my mixes? Go ahead and ask me.
Brandon, what was Larry's favorite song in all your mixes?
I'd have to go with that track by the Sandwiches.
That's right. The Sandwiches.
He loved that song. Those are those broads.
Yeah, you like broads.
Here's the thing. Whenever Brandon's music, the first song that always comes up when we talk about his shitty music is that Happy Joy, Happy Joy, Happy, Happy Joy. That fucking song. That's
those guys are great.
Song that pops into my head.
It's Honey Joy. It's not Heavy Joy. And I'm sorry, I know it's too Larry's favorite. Ready? Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on. Whoa. Hey now. He loves him some Smash Mouth.
Always Smash Mouth. Always fucking Smash Mouth. I never listened to
because I'm not gonna make you feel bad about your favorite band. Maybe you could grant me the same courtesy.
But you have 900 favorite bands. I'm not allowed to say anything about anybody.
It's called variety, sir. I don't need to listen to Smash Mouth every day.
That is what fascinates me, though, because in your mixes, you come up with these two mixes. Each one has, each CD has 26 songs on it or so.
Sure.
And how many, and again, this is just the best of. I didn't listen to 26 songs all year. And these are just the best of. So, once again, how many albums did you listen to in 2013? Do you listen to an album a day?
No. But I like I said, as soon as I find something I like, I put it in this folder and I work all day. I sit at a desk, so I just listen to music all day and podcasts. But I'll just put stuff on, and I'm like, okay, and that way I'm able to go through it. Let's say hypothetically 25 records were represented there, I probably listened to 3 times. I probably listened to at least 75 to 100 records at least.
Wow.
So
Larry, how many records have you listened to, Larry?
How many records did I listen to this year?
Yeah.
I think 1.
Yeah, I don't think I listened to any.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on. Hey, right? Was that it? I'm gonna guess it was.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into the music. And this year I decided we'll do something a little different. I listened to all the songs last night, and I put together my top 11.
Wow.
The 11 songs that I liked them. And I got to tell you, Brandon, I liked a lot of the stuff this year.
Listen to you, Michael Dell.
Usually there's no way in hell I could come up with a top 11.
Wow. That's wonderful. I'm very glad to hear that.
I think every year, Larry, what's your over-under for songs that you like on his mixes, Larry? Is it 1?
0.
Yeah.
No, come on. In all fairness, Larry, you typically there will usually be at least one song, and you're like, that's not bad.
I'll take the under.
I usually there's usually 3 or 4 I enjoy, but I remember last year, it seemed, I seem to recall last year was particularly rough. I don't think
happy joy, happy joy.
Honey Joy, it's Honey Joy, sir.
Oh, right. Honey Joy, my bad. All right, fair enough.
You son of a bitch.
But this year, I had no trouble finding 11. Now, I would say the top 7 songs on this list I would listen to again. So,
Well, good for you. Maybe I'll need to send you a copy, Mike Dell.
In my number 1 band on this list, I'll keep it a surprise for now, but the number 1 band is Dynamite. I really like it.
Fantastic. Now, can I just ask, did you combine 11 songs between the two?
Yes.
You didn't do 11 on each, in other words?
No.
Okay.
That would be good. Yeah.
I'm reaching for the moon there, but yeah, I just thought I'd ask. That's fine.
All right, so let's start at number 11. We'll just play the song, and then you can tell the people about it afterwards. So go ahead, Larry. Number 11, Brandon's best music of 2013.
It takes me too much time. You should know me better than that. You're not that much like me. You should know me better than that. We have different enemies. You should know me better than that. I should leave it alone, but you're not right. I should leave it alone, but you're not right. Can't you write it on the wall? You should know me better than that. There's no room to write it all.
There There's no way that guy moved his lips during that song. I didn't understand a fucking word he said.
It's a wonderful song.
I like it, though, because it has a nice sound. But, Brandon, tell the people who that is.
That's The National. That's from the record Trouble Will Find Me. And I'll tell you what, The National is one of those indie bands that's become wildly popular. And in fact, Larry, I'm surprised in a way. I know you like terrible music, but I would have think The National by now may have crossed into your world to some of They've become a very popular band.
Never heard of them.
The first 3 songs on that record are all very good, and that's actually the lead track in that on that record.
It picks
really
up a little
nice.
bit from there.
It's very low key. But it's good songwriting, good lyrics too. I mean,
it has a nice, rich, full sound to it.
Yeah, for sure.
Is he a
Larry? Not so much,
for sure.
Didn't like it, Larry?
Is he a ventriloquist?
No, but you know what? Again, and this is what happens. In all fairness, and Mike Down, I understand you have to cut these, but it picks up like right after that, where it had to clip off.
I tried to get a part where, because that's towards the beginning, but the first 15 seconds of that clip are like really slow, and then it picks up a little bit, and then it picks up even more as it goes along.
Yeah, because that song's got "I Can Live in Salt," and then so he comes in with that, and then there's a nice little guitar solo in there as well. That's pretty sweet. So
yeah, I enjoyed it. It's a good song. In fact, I said only the top 7, but yeah, I enjoyed that one.
I imagine
number 10, Larry.
Picking up means like a second harp comes in.
No, it gets louder and a little more forceful.
That's pretty funny.
He articulates his words better towards the end. It's great. All right, number 10, Larry.
Oh, good. All right.
Waxahachie,
that's right.
And this song
it's
is lively.
Fantastic, by the way.
And I should mention that
her sister, she has a twin sister who is actually the lead singer of the band Swearin', who's also on Mixes. Yeah, so that's her twin sister, and they actually used to have a band together as well called P.S. Eliot, which I think you would like the literary allusion there. But that Waxahachie record's great. It's just a sweet, quiet, sad sort of record, but it's fantastic.
I love the band name, Waxahachie. Isn't that like a river in Missouri?
I think that's right.
Yeah.
I think that's right. Now, I think Larry enjoyed it wildly.
Yeah.
It was fine enough. That song was great in '95 when Juliana had to.
Exactly. It's got like a Kim Deal Breeders sort of indie rock from the '90s. But what's wrong with that? So what? If you do it good, why is that bad?
It's just kind of dated. It's dated. It's fine. I mean, that would have been great.
You're dated.
No, it just when I heard it, I thought Juliana Hatfield immediately.
So what? What's wrong with that?
Yeah, I'll see that
but once again, I'm 40 now. I'm not 20 anymore.
Okay, so I only want to be with you. Fine. There you go.
Well, just to recap, number 11, The National, that song was called I Should Live in Salt, which is a weird title. I Should Live in Salt. And number 10, Waxahachie, the song is Lively. So kind of an interesting title for
I think I Should Live in Salt must be a Sodom and Gomorrah reference to Lot's wife, right?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, perhaps.
That'd be my guess there anyway, but
that's what I was thinking.
Because Larry is nothing but a biblical scholar.
A biblical scholar, as am I. Oh, by the way, don't forget, Larry, we need to do the segment with, what was it, with Brandon teaches Larry about Judaism or whatever?
Oh yeah.
Right. So if we have time at the end, maybe we'll get into that.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any.
All right, number 9, Larry.
Here we go.
How many more nights must you just humiliate yourself? The pollution from your imbecile rages is licking at your
That's Of Montreal, and this song is Imbecile Rages.
Yeah, let me tell you, too, I'm really glad to hear that you included that in your top 11. Man, that song is incredible, and that is a band that Larry would absolutely hate. Listen, this record was much more, it was more, God, it's hard to even say rock, but it was more accessible for them. No. They have done a lot of, like, they include typically anymore a lot of, like, funk and R&B. It's really all over the place. Kevin Barnes, the frontman for Montreal, he's a lunatic, and he's sort of asexual, and which actually you might like. But he's a weird fella. But I'll tell you what, that song is a fucking killer, and I thought maybe you would include that note he sustains at the end of the song, where he sings the chorus.
Yeah, that's like
the
I wanted to save something for the people because I know you're fond of that note at the end. So
oh man, it's wonderful.
He sort of extends it there, and then he does it again later on.
But he belts it out later in the song. Holy hell, it's just amazing. So, but yeah, again, Larry, I understandably would hate that band. I saw them the first time back when I was living in Chicago, and they performed live, and in fact, our pal Indy Sarah, I think, was at that show.
Wow.
How do you like that? We were at the same show back in Chicago, back in the late 90s.
It's not that weird.
I think that's right. He performed on stage his face was covered in white makeup and he had a Salvador Dali mustache drawn on.
Seems about right.
And then I had beers with him after the show. What a swell fella. He was a total weirdo, but good guy. So,
God damn.
Big fan of that guy.
Excuse me for a minute. I'm sending a Twitter at the moment.
You're tweeting? You're making me sick with this bullshit?
Well,
you're Twittering?
We got some sad news. Apparently, Rank may not be able to make it now.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I'll still converse with him and see if we can work something out. But he's not going to be able to get here at 10, I don't think.
So wait, are you getting in the second hour? You're getting Sass or Popeye?
Sass.
Sass.
Oh, Sass. Okay. Very good. Okay.
Other than Sass. We haven't talked to him in a while.
Popeye's dead?
No, Popeye still works here in Pittsburgh. Yeah.
No, he's dead.
All right.
He's dead.
Number 8, Larry.
Dead to me.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
I do believe that we are machines and we search till our parts in effect. Now I know there's so much more that I didn't get to say. All my life, for once I was right, and I'll make it all better again. But now I rest.
That is Telekinesis, and the song is Symphony.
I'll let Larry weigh in first because I know he's dying to. So.
Oh, yeah, I'm dying to. I can't. So sad. I'm so sad. It's just, I don't know, man. Dude, you're a grown man. What are you doing?
You know what? Here's the thing. You're also a grown man. Are you a fucking robot? At what point in your life do you grow up and say, you know what, it's okay to have feelings, you goddamn piece of shit? Okay.
Dude, I am dead inside. Dead.
Apparently you are. Apparently you are. It's sad. I feel terrible for you. Yeah. Have you bought the ring yet? Have you bought the ring?
No.
I know. Of course you haven't. Of course.
Dead.
You know what?
Dead.
It is terrible. That okay, so the Telekinesis record, by the way, let's get back to the music now that we're done with that. Buy a ring, by the way. The Telekinesis record, again, really solid record. This is not his, well, I say his, but the band's first record. I'm noticing, by the way, Del, if I'm not mistaken, I think all 4 of the songs you picked so far are all off of Negative. You picked four of the softer tracks.
What's up with that?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's just a fluke because that ends quickly. That ends quickly. I think the top 7 are all off the other one. So.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, then maybe it's some encouraging news for Larry. Maybe it'll be picked up a little bit. Maybe he feels a little bit better. But
yeah,
it gets really quickly. Well, let me ask you just to interject really quickly. So what is it again, I don't know if you genuinely like these 4 songs that you've picked to this point or if they were just the best to round out the top 11. But if you did in fact like them, what is it you like about a song like that? Like what's the
They're
appeal?
not like my four favorites or anything, but I like just the rich sound of that song. And I know Larry's saying he's sad and all, but it has a nice little melody, and I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, what's wrong with sad? You know what? For me, and I don't know if you would agree or not, but for me, sometimes sad music is what makes me feel better than anything. I like sad music. Sometimes
Larry,
you get in touch with a part of yourself that makes you feel better.
Larry used to just put on Natalie Merchant, like put the shotgun in his
I know.
mouth.
Oh, I know.
So
I appreciate. I don't know. For me, I need a woman's voice if it's going to be something like that.
I see.
When a guy, Larry?
What?
These are days to remember. Is that better?
That's a great song.
I bet you do.
There you go.
I bet you do.
I love that
Oh, no,
song.
but you like the female vocalist, Larry. Again, get the Waxahachie, I'm telling you.
I'm very big.
Well,
You would enjoy it.
We have 4 female vocalists yet to come, including the top 3.
Wonderful.
All feature female vocalists.
Wow, is that right? Holy hell.
And one of them I swooned for. So we'll see.
Ooh, can't wait to hear it.
All right,
Wonderful.
Number 7. Larry, number 7.
I was born to kill. I was made to slay, unafraid to spill blood on the land. When you command, I will. I am lost to fate, lost to the lives I take. I will never be done. I'll always be hungry. And each vital breath I breathe burns the bright fire inside of me, and it keeps me alive, keeps me alive. Yeah, I was born.
That's the Thermals, Born to Kill.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that's right in my wheelhouse, that kind of song, and I would have put it higher, but I think we're all familiar with the Thermals by now. You've had them on your
I have. I was going to say
numerous
they've been one of my favorite bands over like probably, not the last decade, but close to it.
Yeah, legitimately, that's a really good song. They're a really good band. So, but I'm familiar with them, so I put them a little lower just to make it
No, that's okay. And I was glad. See, that song too, by the way, that's the lead track on that record, and it's nice just to be sitting there and all of a sudden, oh, you know what I mean? Like it's so immediate. I love the immediacy of the song, and it's fun. You know, and it's typical Thermals, like, we're going to be political and whatever. This record this year was not groundbreaking, but it's still a really fun listen. So glad to hear that was in there.
It's also worth noting I'm very frail, and I like to wear thermals.
Oh, wonderful. There you go.
Little
By the way, you would like them. They're a trio, and the bass player is a young lady.
Yeah.
And she's she plays the bass. She's kind of an ass kicker on the bass, too, so it's pretty cool.
So, Larry, what about the Thermals, Born to Kill?
2 words. Green gay. So I'm gonna
Oh, please.
No.
I'm looking at this Thermals. I want to see.
You know, it's easy. I like, by the way, all of your musical comparisons are to, like, have you listened to a record in the last, like, 5 years? You're like,
Have
that
you?
one's like
You're
mid-90s. That one's
it's
like
all
Green Day.
alternative 90s stuff. That's all. That's what you're listening
Okay,
to.
what's the last record you bought? What's the last that you've listened to?
That's a good question. What is the last record you bought?
I bought the new Eminem CD.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet Jesus. So you bought that bloated, like, reject, doing the same shit over and over again, and yet you're going to get on me about retread 90s music? Please. And I'll say this, by the way, I am not even an Eminem hater. That guy back in the day, that guy was fucking smooth. Like, oh my God, his cadence was incredibly quick. He was smart, intelligent shit. Now it's just like it's a money grab. So,
No, it's not. It's not.
oh,
though.
please.
Did you listen to the
Isn't it called
record?
like the Marshall Mathers LP2 or something? Like, it's like, you put a 2 on the end of it. Big deal.
I know. He references that in the song. How it's just a money grab.
God.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, number 6, Larry.
Ugh. Hold on. Christ.
So put out.
Your heart is nothing but made of wood. You're all you've got. It's not looking good. Side by side, side, smile at you. Think I'm better off when you know it's true. She's gone, she's gone, she's gone. He's wrong, he's wrong, and he's wrong. She's gone, she's gone, she's gone. He's wrong, he's wrong, and he's wrong.
That is Upset with She's Gone.
Yeah, I thought that would be right in your wheelhouse. Do you know who's in that band, Mike Dill?
I have no idea.
You didn't look up the personnel at all, huh?
No.
If I'm not mistaken, are you familiar with the name Melissa Alptamar?
Yes,
Hole?
from Hole.
That's correct.
Wow.
What's the band called?
I believe she's the drummer, I believe, on that record.
The band is called Upset. Upset.
Oh,
Because in Hole, she played bass, right?
Yeah, exactly. But I think she drums on this. I could be wrong. She might play bass on this, but for some reason I thought she was the drummer. I think it's one of the chicks from either Vivian Girls or Dum Dum Girls is formed this band. But
and by the way,
it's a really
Vivian Girls,
catchy
they
record.
provided that quote in your theme song there.
That's exactly right. I got to have these women. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Jesus
right.
Christ,
And
they're like 50 and 60 years old. They look like people's
no,
grandmothers.
they're not. What are you talking about? What are you
I'm-
talking about? The only one that's older in the band is the Alptamar woman who's been around for quite some time, but
God
it's a
damn.
catchy record, and that song is super fun. That's one of those songs as soon as I heard, I'm like, that's going on the mix. It's good stuff. But I thought that would be Adele. I thought you would like that one, so there you go.
Yeah, it's peppy, it's energetic, it's a little, punk kind of
It's a
thing.
little grungy, a little, it's got that, good stuff.
Now,
All right.
Larry, you may not love this next one, but I guarantee you will love the sentiment behind it.
Oh, no.
What number are we up to?
Number 5.
Number 5, I think.
Is that it? Honestly, are you fucking with me? Or are we
Well,
honestly?
maybe
we're
about
halfway
5
done.
songs, and then it's all the Mariah Carey you can beat off to. That's good.
And I will.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. The band is called Wimps, and the song is Nap. All they want to
Yeah.
do is nap. Yeah.
No,
It's
I
a fun
see,
song.
I see why you take that shot at me, being that I'm the big, fat, lethargic piece
No.
of shit that I am, but
No,
I don't
I-
nap really that often.
Oh, see, I do. Me and the cat. This is Sidney G. This is our theme song right here, Nap.
The cat.
we take at least 3 naps a day, so it's great. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
All I
Again,
gotta do
it's a
is
fun
nap.
song. Little power pop, little post-punkish, sort of.
It's almost
nice
like a
song.
novelty song. It's goofy,
Yeah,
it's,
exactly. That's exactly right. I
yeah.
don't look at that and be like, man, this is deep. It's not deep.
Yeah.
It's just fun to listen to.
I just put it on there for the little nap joke, but yeah, I like it.
It's a fun song.
So Larry,
A lot of female vocalists here. You're correct. I'm
oh, you know what? I
pleasantly
forgot about
surprised.
that one. So there's actually 3 more still to come.
yeah.
Wait, what was that band called?
Wimps.
Oh, the Wimps. Is it the Wimps? or
Wimps.
Just
No, it's just Wimps. So
Wimps. Sorry. Yeah, goddamn.
I don't know. You're goddamn
So Larry,
right.
nothing,
Sorry.
nothing for nap. Not a fan of nap.
No, I mean, honestly, what can I say?
Yeah. All right. All right. Number 4, Larry.
All right, hold on. I'm looking up these Wimps. Here we
okay.
go.
I learned a little bit a long, long time ago, just from a friend I know, about how love can burn so slow. I wanted it, but my time is running low. I'm getting closer to the door, pretty late, I need to go. Do I shout it out? Do I let it go? Do I need to know what I'm waiting for? No, I want it now. Do I need it so?
Michael Cronin shouted out.
Yeah, that was a nice pick. I'll tell you what. Total, California rocker. He plays with a guy, Ty Siegel, who's straight up California stoner rock. I mean, awesome shit. But that Michael Cronin song and that record altogether, that is good stuff. Really guitar and drum driven. That's a really fun listen, that song. So glad to hear you pick that one.
Nice, rich sound. But it also, when I was listening to it, I was like, hey, this sounds like the Beach Boys a little bit.
Yep, there you go. I just said
Right.
it. California rock.
I had no idea
Absolutely.
he was from California, so that worked
Yep.
out. Larry, you had to at least admire that a little bit, right?
you know. I didn't pick up any Beach Boys in that. I don't know.
Oh, I think in the guitar, in the little jangle.
Yeah.
Guitar, so, yeah.
Well, someone's got an ear for music, and someone's got an ear for, hey, now, you're an all-star, get your game on. Hey, hey. They don't have any other songs, right? Is that the only?
No,
Oh, sorry. I'm a believer, and I live
Walking
with
on the
monkeys.
They also sang,
Oh, that Sun song. That one's even worse.
oh, yeah,
Walking
Walking
on
on
the
the
Sun,
Sun, yeah. Yeah, Walking
Oh,
on
please,
the Sun.
don't yeah me. Like, it's playing in the background in your living room. Oh, yeah, that's right. Come on.
As he's stroking his gold record for some reason. All right. Number 3, Larry. Nothing but ladies from here on out.
All right.
Yeah, well, I've seen the ladies so far, and that's using the term loosely.
Keep this in amber, keep our appointment. Remember the things that we said. If that was goodbye, then I must be high. You must be the sugar I need. If that was goodbye, then I am a fly, and the future's guaranteed. 'Cause when I'm with you, everything's treasure. I forget what it's like to be gone. I'm far from the town and the suburbs of your pleasure. I've been in exile so long. I'm trying not to stare at the sun. No, I'm trying not to stare at the sun. I'm trying not to stare at the sun.
That's Eleanor Friedberger, Stare at the Sun, and I believe she was on a previous edition of the
She
mix.
was. She absolutely was. Nice work. And she actually, she used to play in a band with her brother called the Fiery Furnaces, and they were really odd. But again, a favorite of mine. I really enjoyed them. I saw them live in Brooklyn, actually, years ago. And she's got a cool stage presence. She's a cool chick. I just like her. I don't know. She's got a good thing going on.
I like her too. Yeah.
So you're saying you liked her, like you looked her up on the online? And
Yeah. Uh-huh.
yeah, she's got a nice look about her, right?
But I think she has a powerful voice too, like a strong
She
voice.
does.
I think the one, I've mentioned this in previous editions of this show, but usually these indie groups, they can get away with like a strong musical track, but usually the thing that keeps them from crossing over and being successes is they don't have strong lead vocalists or charismatic frontmen or women. And I think Eleanor Friedberger definitely fits the bill as someone.
I think that's a fair point for some. I think sometimes they don't have to, but I think also sometimes, indie rock is different now than it was. And again, I don't even know if there is indie rock now. But I think part of the point though was to be so anti-establishment, so as to say it's not about making it big. It's about being counterculture and being a slacker and saying like, why should I exert effort to have strong vote? You know what I mean? Does that even make sense?
Well, yeah, it's just laziness.
No, but I'm saying, like, think about it. Like, one of the great slacker, quote-unquote, slacker bands of, like, the early 90s, and one of my all-time favorite bands is, like, Pavement, for instance. Stephen Malkmus, the frontman for Pavement, great songwriter. He wasn't a great vocalist, but he did cool things with his vocals, and I think the whole thing about them, too, they were very counterculture. They were not about, being a mainstream band. It's just about doing their thing. They were arrogant as fuck, and it was just like, this is what we're doing. If you don't like it, tough shit. So,
and I think that's why indie music sometimes gets the bad reputation it does, because people think
maybe,
it's pretentious douchebags.
maybe, but I respect it all the same. I like it for what it is. Good
Larry,
stuff.
you got to watch this Eleanor Friedberger video. Nothing but cute ladies all through it.
I looked her up.
Not just for her. That there's this little cute little like sign language girl next to her, and then the drummer. Oh my goodness, I don't know who she is. Who's the drummer in that video, Brandon?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I've seen. I don't think I've seen all of it. I know I saw a clip from it, but I don't really know who's playing in her band at this point. So I don't know.
Yeah, because we need to find that drummer immediately.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's make it happen. Maybe I make a call, Mike Dill.
All right, see what you can do. All right, number 2.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
Daylight night on the turnpike, like the crunch of the black ice and the buzz of the noisy glare asking the long hair glare at the crack scene out of foggy cracked in the sea of fire.
Swearin', and the song is Dust in the Gold Sack.
Don't even know where to start with that one. Other than to say, first of all, that was maybe my favorite song of the whole year, number one. Number two, that is the twin sister of the lead singer of Waxahachie. Number three, that was their record last year was my album of the year. I don't know if you remember that, but Swearin's debut was that was my favorite. This year it was in my top 10, their record. I think it was like number 7 or 8, a record called Surfing Strange. The thing they did differently this year and I maybe think was less successful, is that Kevin Gilbride, the other vocalist, actually sings more of the lead vocals, and for some reason I prefer listening to her sing over him. So there was something about it that wasn't as immediate as last year's record, but again, that song's a goddamn killer. And there's a nice video, by the way. Not only did they release a video for that song, but there's a nice live performance of it at some like band's concert show or some bullshit. I don't know. But look that one up on the online too. So,
Larry, what do you think of Swearin'?
You know, I think I've pinpointed what the problem is. And I mean, I'm not being, a jackass or anything, but I think once again, 20 years ago, I would have loved this. When I was 20 and I had more what I like to call hope and dreams and that kind of shit. But I'm like, now that I'm 40, I'm hateful. Honest to fucking God, am very hateful, bitter, resentful, and I need angrier, more pissed off music. So this just doesn't resonate with me anymore.
So do you listen to like speed metal and like that kind of shit, like death metal stuff?
Or did you just listen to like a soundtrack of a slaughterhouse?
I don't know. I
There's
listen to a lot of
seriously, what do you listen to?
I listen to a lot of Eminem. I like a lot of Eminem, and then see, once again, here we go. Like I fucking hate this show because anytime you two jackasses are on together, it's just team up.
I told you though. I just said you a minute ago. I think old Eminem was kind of awesome. Like I think that guy before he became
loves
big,
Eminem.
That guy was really talented. I don't have ill will. I'm granting you that. I'm saying for somebody to sit there and say this all sounds like 20 years ago. Well, you're harping on a guy or promoting a guy, I should say, who's from like 20 years ago.
Yeah. But he just had an album come out 2 months ago. It's not like
so did he. So from 2013. What show do you think we're doing? We're not doing the best of 95. We're doing the best of 2013.
I hear you, but it sounds like the best of 95. Eminem's shit doesn't
sound like the best of
20 years
95.
ago.
Go home. Go home.
All right. One song left, Larry. One song left. You ready? This is my number one pick, and I got to tell you, this lead singer is spectacular.
A minute 17, god damn.
Her voice is awesome. I like the band, and I've actually listened to more songs than just this one since hearing this last night. And Larry, I'm telling you, easy on the
I can't even think of what this is.
I may be in love with this lady. All right, number one.
Here we go.
That is The Joy Formidable, and the song is Chola.
Fantastic. And here's before we talk about that, let me just point something out that's kind of funny. So Do you two know a band? Oh, he must have looked.
Yeah, I think he just saw Ritzy Bryan, I believe is her name.
Well, do you know? Does Larry or do you guys know Throwing Muses?
Yeah, I'm aware of them. I don't know them. So yeah.
Larry, do you know them?
I've heard of them. I don't know them.
You have them on your CDs, right?
I do. They're on both CDs. But the funny thing is, you're like, this is all '90s retread. The funny thing is, they're originally from the late '80s, mid '90s. And they put out a record this year. It's the first record they put out in 10 years. And they are actually on both. So I was thinking that would be really funny, actually, if that was Dell's number one.
Oh, no. So there's no connection between the Joy Formidable and...
No. I just thought for a minute, I thought how funny it would be if you had picked that as your number one.
But it wasn't.
But that's Joy Formidable. That's a great song. And, yeah, she's quite a looker as well.
Yeah, she's real cute. And short little blonde hair, Larry. I take it you saw her?
Yeah.
And she's like, and where's she from? Like Wales or something, right? Or...
I was going to say, yeah. I think I know there's someone in the UK that.
Oh,
maybe
she's British too.
So she has a great accent, and I'm telling you, her song, her voice is like powerful and just really great. And when I listen to them live, and she's tremendous live, and she plays the guitar like a champ, like a grunge rocker. It's great watching it. Yeah.
Huh.
Listen to this, Mike Dell's in love.
I think so. Yeah.
Larry,
Ritzy Bryan. Me and Ritzy.
So you see, we all win. You get the best of 2013, and Dell gets a new muse.
Yeah.
A new Flight of Fancy.
And how great is the name Ritzy, Larry? Right? It's pretty good.
Yeah. Larry
maybe
gets
she goes on one of your
tomorrow
lists for next year.
Yeah, we'll see.
But I said maybe she goes on one of your lists next year for the what is it? Your top 11.
Top 11 ladies. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You know what? I like where your head's at. She's number at least 2. We'll see.
I mean, she's a little bit older. You got to take points off for that.
For what?
For what?
She's being, she's a little bit older. You got to knock points off. She's not down in that Abigail Breslin range where, that's pretty impressive territory and shit.
You're just awful.
How old is Ritzy Bryan? I should look that up.
I don't know.
20s, right?
She can't be that old. I mean,
yeah.
Well,
she's too old for Larry. I know that, but
no, he was talking about throwing music.
No. That was Throwing Music.
Oh, okay. I think
no, not this
band.
one. No.
26 or so.
I was going to say, yeah, she's got to be fairly young. I think this is only their second record, so yeah, she's young.
She moves way up the charts then.
But they're like legitimately a good band. It's just her and 2 dudes. And
yeah, and their record from it was either last year or 2 years ago is also very good. Actually, they're a solid band. I really enjoy them. So I'm good. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Mike. Maybe going forward over the next 10 years when we do this, maybe you always do a top 11 list. I like this. I like this as a format.
Yeah,
I think it's a good
thought
idea.
that was a nice way to go. Of course, again, in previous years it was much harder to find 11, but this year I had no problem finding 11.
That's great. So
and again, the Joy Formidable, can't recommend them enough.
No, I like that. Can we ask Larry again maybe how many of those songs he enjoyed?
Honestly, I mean,
How many did you not hate? Put it that way.
How many did I not hate? Oh, man.
I would say the Joy Formidable, Swearin', Eleanor Friedberger, Michael Cronin, and the Thermals would be the big 4 for me. But
that was 5.
Or 5. I can't count.
I counted 5 too, but I was trying that incorrectly. That's fine.
I don't know. I hated most of it. I'll be honest with you.
You hated most of it. That's fine.
It's just not. It's not me anymore. It's just not.
I guess. Let me ask.
Let
me ask Dell a question.
Bryan.
No, I know you like that. Dell, let me ask you. Since you whittled it down to 11 from about, I don't know, what is it, 46 or something like that, 49, I don't know. Were there any songs that you just outright hated? You're like, this is terrible.
Well, yeah, let's go over the CDs here real quick. And by the way, you got Swearin' as your 8th album of the year.
Number 8. There you go. Okay.
I'm looking at your blog here. And people can
by
go
the way,
to
you know you didn't have, can I just say one thing real quick? The band that you didn't have in your top 11
was your favorite.
Who made my number 1 and 2 records, of course. It was Connections.
We'll talk about those in a second. You can go to cousinbrandon.wordpress.com and you can find the list of all Brandon's best of 2013, including the album cover of the year, The Savages.
Yeah, it's a good one.
But apparently the album itself not so good because it didn't make yours.
You know what? Critics loved it. I felt like it was being pushed on me, and I just couldn't get into it. I just didn't like it very much.
All right,
and I love female vocalists. I didn't like it.
The top 10 albums real quick. Lady Lamb the Beekeeper, Ripley Pine. And she's like an acoustic little singer, right?
Sort of. She's all over the place. It's a little artsy, but it's a cool record. I dig it.
Throwing Muses, the aforementioned Throwing Muses, Purgatory
go.
Paradise. Swearing at
Double
number
record. Yep.
8. Vampire Weekend at 7. Now, I'll talk about these fellas in a minute. Number 6, Waxahachie.
Yep.
Number 5, Of Montreal. Number 4, The Men, New Moon. I thought that song was all right. Well, we'll talk about
The Men
that.
I'll tell you what, the Men are ass kickers. I think you would really like them.
I did like them. I probably could have put them on the list, but I just, I forgot about them. All right. Number 3, Arcade Fire, which we'll talk about them in a minute. And then number 2, Connections, Body Language. And number 1, Connections, Private Airplane. So the same band, top 2 spots.
That's exactly right. Yep, 2 best records this year.
I tried to get clips for them just so to play them, but they weren't on YouTube at all. I couldn't find them on YouTube.
Oh, too bad.
Yeah.
They're a small band out of Ohio. Yeah, they're out of Columbus, Ohio. They're small. Can I tell you a quick story about Connections?
Sure. Very
quickly. So
my dog's on YouTube.
What is?
My dog. I got a video of my dog on YouTube.
That's very funny. I got somebody tweeted at me the other day that said, like, hey, thanks for the write-up, whatever. It was at Judy Bloom.
Oh, that's right. I saw that.
Yeah, it was from Connection. So the band, who I wasn't following or anything, apparently they found my blog post and were nice enough to write to me and say thanks. I went over to the Facebook, and a member of the band, Philip Kim, actually friended me, and he was like, hey, man, that was a really cool. Thanks so much for doing that, blah, blah, blah. And he emailed me a link to, like, download, like, all their music. He was like, hey, man, here you go. I know, I thought that was a swell gesture. I was like, look at you.
I was able to listen to the songs that you had on your account, but they didn't resonate with me in any way. I don't know. They just, maybe I should listen to them again. But.
I know maybe you're not, and again, I know this is nothing for Larry, I understand, but I'm a huge Guided by Voices fan who are also from Ohio, from Dayton. This band's from Columbus, I believe. And it just so reminded me of listening to old GBV records. I was like, God damn, this is good.
You also have Guided by Voices on the list. Real quick, the positive list, all the tracks. Number 1, you have the Octopus Project, Kit.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. California X Mummy. I didn't like that one at all. I thought it was goofy.
All right.
Yeah. Connections, Aimless. Oh, well, Larry, we're going through the songs here.
I hear you, but I mean, I want to get an opinion from you guys before Sash shows up. I think we've exhausted Brandon, it's all the same, whatever.
All right, well, there's a couple I want to talk about. Well, you mentioned Connections, but I got to talk about Vampire Weekend and Arcade Fire, because I would much love to grab Vampire Weekend by the ankles and beat Arcade Fire to death with them. I just hate both bands. I can't.
It's funny. Okay, let me just chime in. I'll let you respond. The Vampire Weekend critically was loved. People really loved the record, and I just undeniably liked it. I just couldn't. There's something about them that's so precious that I understand.
Precious.
You just want to fucking punch them both in the face. You want to punch them in the face. You're like, you're so annoying. Fuck you. However you portray yourselves is just awful. But there's no denying that I like the record. I'm like, so what can you do? You have to separate yourself from the artist and just look at the art and just say, look, I enjoy it, and that's that.
Larry, are you familiar with Vampire Weekend?
I think I've seen both of those bands on Saturday Night Live within the last year or so.
I think you probably have, exactly.
Yeah.
And Arcade Fire, I mean, Reflector was not my favorite of their records, but I'll tell you what, you put on Reflector and plug your headphones in, it's an amazing record. I did not like it at first at all. Like, I was like, man, this is just bad. And I just kept listening, and I was like, holy shit, this is an incredible record.
Do you like Alabama Shakes? Because I could see you liking
No,
that.
I don't. And that's another one. That's a band, too, that I feel like they're kind of like a Mumford & Sons type band. That, like, they're indie for the mainstream, or I don't know how else to put it. Like, they're trying to be indie, but they're really a mainstream band. I don't know quite how to articulate it. They want to think that they're cool, but they're really not. I'm like, whatever. Yeah, Mumford & Sons can suck my asshole. But Alabama Shakes isn't as guilty as they are because they're, whatever.
I just think Arcade Fire is like the epitome of the pretentious, douchey band.
Well, they are. Have you seen them on like SNL or anything? They're weirdos. They're total weirdos. I totally agree. But wait, did you watch the video I linked to on my blog? I think there's a video for Afterlife on there, and it's a cool video. I mean, my God, it's good shit. I think Spike Jonze did it actually. Who just did Her. which I guess we're not going to have time to get into the Academy Award nominations. But
yeah, probably not. But real quick, let me just remind
okay.
everyone one thing: Ritzy Bryant.
Yeah.
Joy from
All right, that's because of Brandon's music. Thanks, Brandon.
Well, no, we don't have to rush him out the door.
No, I want to ask you guys something else. Let's
All right,
go ahead.
We're done. Did you guys watch True Detective, and what did you think?
Yes, we both did. Brandon, what do you think?
Yeah.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I'll tell you what, there maybe 5 years ago, if you had said to me, oh, there's a show with McConaughey, I would have said, that guy is a rom-com dickhead. I don't give a shit about that guy.
See, that's what Larry told me. Larry, did you watch it then after we talked?
I did watch it, yeah.
So what do you think?
He has turned himself into a legitimate actor who I actually now, like, I'm like, oh, good, McConaughey's in it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've always liked him because I thought he was great in Dazed and Confused. People say, well, he's just playing himself kind of, but I thought he was great. And then, did you ever see 13 Conversations About One Thing?
I've heard of it. I've not seen it.
That was probably the first time I realized, like, yeah, he's a good actor. And then Larry was also with you, like, being bitter towards McConaughey. But what'd you think, Larry, after watching that first episode?
Dude, that show was so fucking great. He was so...
Yeah, we're all on the same page. We all agree on something.
Unbelievable. Matthew McConaughey in that.
I thought the beginning was a little slow, but Woody Harrelson is always just so good, everything he does. And then McConaughey, like, that character's like, it's basically me in a way. And then when he gets to the end, I like when he's... He just busts out all his philosophical weird things he says, and then at the end when he's getting interviewed by the cops and he's drinking and he blows the money across the table. Larry, what about that?
That was awesome.
Yeah. That is I think hands down the best scene of the entire episode. When he tells him he's got to have his six-pack, he doesn't work tomorrow or whatever, puts the money down and just blows it at him. Unbelievably great. That was so good. Oh, I couldn't have been happier about that.
And then the ending was great. The final line was great. And so what do you think? Now, I don't know anything about this story. I don't know. Is it based on anything, or I have no idea. But,
I don't know.
It looks to me like
he's
the guy they're questioning about. They think he's the killer, right?
Yeah.
Oh, see, is that what you took away from it? See, okay. So here, the mysteries at the end are essentially who did they actually pin it on? Because apparently they got the wrong man. So who did they pin it on? The other question is what was their falling out? You know, why have they not spoken to one another in 10 years or whatever?
Exactly.
And
I think he bangs Harrelson's wife, right?
Oh, yeah.
You know, that could actually happen because, again, I think I pointed out too, there's no doubt in my mind that Harrelson is banging the woman that works in their office building that comes down with like, oh, I have to go back there and give you a deposition. You remember that scene? The woman comes out. There's zero doubt in my mind that he's fucking her.
He definitely
did. Yes. So his marriage is already in shambles. You could be correct. So maybe he swoops in and does that. You suspect then that he is now being held on suspicion of being responsible for these murders?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I don't think so though, because so do you think he did the original murder back in 95?
No.
Because so he's a copycat killer now.
He says at the end of the episode, McConaughey is talking to those cops, and they're saying how many similarities there are between the two murders, and McConaughey says something like, and you want to know how it happened again when we got the guy back in 95. So I think he's on to them suspecting him, and I think Woody Harrelson thinks they suspect him as well in a way.
Yeah.
No, see, I think that they both realized back in whenever the case ended in 2002 or whatever it was, that they both know that they pinned it on the wrong guy. It caused some kind of uproar between them. They broke it off, and he's saying, like, of course, like, yeah, we both know that we blamed it on the wrong person.
Well, that's fine. I get that maybe, but the tone of the officers doing the questioning, that's officers thinking they're guilty of something more than about.
I think maybe they think that they know more that they're not letting out. I didn't necessarily think that they think that they're responsible for this murder, though.
Well, time will tell. We'll see.
It will. Oh, and by the way, are you aware that, like, this is like 8 episodes, I think, and then they're going to have, like, a new cast or something?
That's what Larry told me last week, right, Larry?
Yeah. That's it.
I love that, though.
I like it too.
You know why I love that? I'll tell you a show I always hated that was very popular. It was 24. And I always said the thing that would be so much cooler about that show is if every season You replace the cast and you make it more of a comic book because there's no way all this shit keeps happening to this guy. There's
That's
no
right.
way. But if you change it out every year, then maybe it's kind of cool. It's just a day in the life of one individual. It's awesome. And they fucked that all up. Dummies.
I know.
All right, I know you got to talk to the Sass. I know.
Well, is Sass here yet, Larry?
No, I don't see him.
All right. Well, real quick, Brandon, I watched that movie also, The Future of Folk or
History of Future Folk. Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. So those two dudes are really a legit folk band, bluegrass band?
You know, that's the thing. I don't think they actually are. I think the rounder fellow with the mustache, he's been in another film or two, I think, from that same director, but clearly he must have some kind of musical background.
I don't
know that they're an actual... Oh, dude, he's amazing. Did Larry, did you watch this as well?
I watched the trailer. I will plan to watch it at some point. It looks interesting.
You really should. I know you think all my shit is terrible. I'm telling you, it's a fun movie to watch.
Yeah.
It's really smart, and it's so original from like most of the stuff that's come out in the last few years. It's
really
movie.
well written and put together. And,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And the songs are great, and that's the thing. And
they are.
You maybe said about like, it's typical Brandon bullshit music. It's not my taste in music at all. It's like bluegrassy, which I do not like.
But the great thing is, whenever there's a movie about music, it's only as good or bad as the songs themselves. And these songs are great.
That's exactly right.
They're very clever. They're very well written, and they're performed beautifully. But I'm telling you, that Heavy dude is amazing.
He's great, and you know what? It's a funny point. I'm trying to think now if that holds true. So you say it's only as good or bad as the thing. So if we talk about, say, like a sports movie, and we say it's like like let's just say Hoosiers, for instance, is it only as good or bad as the actual basketball scenes? In other words,
you can't have you can't have a sports movie and then have the actual baseball or football. Like remember that Jimmy Pearsall story with Anthony Perkins, right? The psycho kid, is that his name? Anthony Perkins.
Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony
Perkins. Yeah, Perkins was that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Anthony Perkins, he couldn't throw a baseball, and so every time they showed him throwing a baseball, he looked like a Girl Scout.
It's ridiculous, right? Yeah, it's sort of like, what's the other, Any Given Sunday. I was never a big fan of that movie, but then again, the football scenes are dreadful. So, I mean, at least I thought they were. I didn't think they were very good. So I'm like, well, okay. So your subject matter, I think that's a great point. I think the music, if it's about a band, the music scenes have to be legitimate.
In a good boxing movie, The Fighter with... I
never saw that one.
Well, it's about my boy Mickey Ward, and all the fights were choreographed according to the actual real fights and stuff, so it was great.
See, that's smart. See, again, they actually did some research, and, they did their jobs. It's nice. Is that Wahlberg and Christian Bale? Is that right?
Yes, that's exactly right.
I like the Christian Bale. I think that guy's solid. Good actor.
I think
didn't see the...
what's
that?
Rank is here?
One of them is here. I don't know.
Well, go talk to your pals. That's fine. I
all right, Brandon.
Tell them I said hello. That's fine.
All right, buddy. We'll be in touch. Thanks again.
Thanks for doing this, fellas.
Ritzy,
it was always a pleasure.
Bye. There he goes, Cousin Brandon. CousinBrandon.wordpress.com, at Judy Bloom on the Twitters and the Facebook. All right, Larry, put on who's ever on the phone.
Okay. Caller in the 626. Are you there?
Yeah, I think so. Hey, it's
Is this the Sass?
Yeah, it's the Sass. What's up?
What's up, Sass?
Skyler the Sass. Hey, it's me, Mike Dell, and there's Larry, my co-host. Larry, you remember the Sass?
Of course I remember the Sass, yeah.
Yeah.
I talked
now, Skyler, we just got some bad news because Rank's saying he may not be able to make it now. He just Twittered me. So.
Oh, then it's a one-man show or a three-man show.
Yeah, well, I usually do the work of 10 men, so I prefer a 12-man show. But he's going to try and pop in later. So, Larry, keep an eye on the switchboard.
I will.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very, very busy. Now, have you ever, for those who don't remember, first of all, Skyler the Sass, you used to work with our pal Dave Damashek when he was in L.A. doing Damashek On Demand, correct?
That's right. He went to 710 ESPN in Los Angeles, the radio station, first as the afternoon drive show, as some locally may remember. And then through a series of unfortunate events.
And I like to call those events Denholm and Long. Denholm and Long.
Well, yeah, they were just the tip of the iceberg. But, yeah, he was royally screwed and got relegated to podcasting duty, which he did with aplomb and
Yeah, it was great.
and relative success if you looked at the numbers for local originating podcasts for ESPN back then. But so I met him and did some stuff with him for his live show. Nothing really landmark, but yeah, it wasn't until he was relegated to podcasting duty that I kind of was able to sit down with him and became a regular fixture on that show, as you know.
Yeah, you were like the producer and also his little sidekick, kind of, and he nicknamed you the Sass, and Dick Banks did a great theme song for you.
Yes, he did too, if you remember right. There was Skylar, the name of a woman,
Yeah,
which was the not
That's
so
the one
flattering
I remember,
person. Yeah. And then the other one was the Sass is Back in Town, which is the one
that's
that
right.
I commissioned. I personally commissioned Dick Banks to make that one to replace Skylar, the name of a woman, although as evidenced by what you just said, not as many people took
Yeah,
to it
everyone
like they
remembers
did,
the name of it. Larry, which one did you prefer, name of the woman or the...
I like the Sass is Back in Town.
Look at that.
There you go.
Oh.
How can you not like Thin Lizzy over Shania Twain? I'll go with Shania Twain. Foxy, no doubt, but...
Well, speaking of which, Sass, we crossed paths on that show numerous times, and I'd come on to talk puck, and then, of course, Land of the Fox. And just the other night, I thought of you because I was watching the Golden Globes, and there up on stage was
and
my girl,
Scarface was on there.
No. The beautiful, lovely
was
Tina Fey.
co-hosting, huh?
And then in the audience was also the beautiful, lovely Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who you...
Tina Feo,
Yeah.
which in Hispanic, as you know, means ugly.
She looked spectacular. Larry, did you see the Golden Globes?
I did not know.
Oh, she looked great. She in the monologue killed. She was really funny. But
Look,
but of course,
it's
Sass,
well documented your affinity for Miss Fey,
Yeah.
Mrs. Fey, and it's not that I don't like Tina Fey or even think she's cute in a girl next door sort of way, but we're talking about the Land of the Fox. I just don't think that she merited inclusion in such a prestigious
well, you need someone in the Land of the Fox to do all the other foxes' homework. So she would do it.
Who said the foxes had to be smart?
I do. I like a smart, foxy lady. But you were the man responsible for officially, Dave granted her, entrance when we won the voting polls and everything, me and my Faye supporters. But you put up the lovely little monument to her, like the little web page with her picture on it and stuff. That had to be a real source of pride for you when it happened.
Yeah, and I spent probably as much or more time on her little baseball card or whatever it was, if I remember it right, as anybody else's. But it was rather pleasing to stick that picture of her in front of an abandoned trailer out in the middle of the desert.
Well, I didn't appreciate that. I didn't really like that at all. But, Larry, you have fond memories of Damashek on Demand, right?
I definitely liked it. Yeah, it was one of the... I liked when Sass and Dave would do, the little bits and stuff, good times.
Now, Sass, when you worked with Dave on Damashek on Demand, did Dave ever eat during the show like Larry's doing right now?
No, quite the opposite. He would not, because he considers it disgusting, the sound of people chewing their own cud. I was the one who frequently would eat or whatever. It was because the way it worked, I mean, like, that wasn't what I did for anybody out there that may have listened back then. That wasn't what I did at the radio station. It was a very small part. In fact, it wasn't even really part of my job description, in as much as I almost had to somewhat hide it from my bosses that I was spending as much time as I did with Damashek. It was sort of a thing like, I didn't take lunch, but I'd sit in there with Damashek and kibitz for, an hour or however long it took us to do the pod. So, yeah, I was constantly having food or drink on my mic, and after a while, you had white chocolate gate became a thing.
That's right, the white chocolate.
Smacking chocolate. Yeah.
Well,
now all these memories are flooding back into my brain.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Well, what did you do at the station if you were keeping everything?
So some history of the Sass for the half dozen Sass fans out there, including my immediate family. Well, I started at the radio station doing on the promotions team, basically handing out stickers. Back in, yeah. That was back in I think it was. So I was doing that and then kind of wiggled my way onto sort of being the not official manager of the promotions team, but working in the office 5 days a week and handling promotions. And part of that was learning the website, which was basically just a dump for, hey, enter to win tickets to Monster Jam or whatever.
Yeah.
And I kind of learned Photoshop, learned HTML, and kind of taught myself that with the help of the webmaster / promotions manager at the time, Nick Tarantino. Big shout out. He just got married. Congrats.
Nick Tarantino, congratulations.
Yeah. So I learned that thing. Nick moved on, became a graphic designer for ESPN.com. I assumed his duties as sort of the webmaster for 710, handling the new media and web-based stuff. And then as it transitioned to ESPNLA.com and the radio site that was 710, ESPN.com, got absorbed into that, I handled that transition and all things radio for ESPNLA.com.
Yeah.
I've
Now, are
been
you still with them today? Where are you at these days?
Yeah, so I'm working about a little over 2 years ago. I moved off of that local part-time, but not really part-time job, working 40 hours a week, but technically part-time employee. I moved off of that, and now I'm with ESPN Radio, basically nationally, though I'm still based out here in L.A.
Nice.
And an office next door, and I handle sort of like radio streaming and podcast infrastructure, relationships with our vendors, ads, stuff like that. I touch a lot of things. So,
now, do you still get to go on the
stuff,
air
but
at all with
boring
anyone?
stuff,
Or do you have any on-air bits or anything?
I did a few things with Max Kellerman on the local show that they have out here with Max and Marcellus, but not any recently. Well, I did the Ghost of Al Davis with them, which was, I'll say it openly, was a blatant ripoff of an old Caller into Damashek's show that did basically the same character.
I remember that. Yeah.
Those were freaking hilarious. That I loved those, and I think a lot of the podcast links died, but I think I probably have the audio archived somewhere on a hard drive that's in my garage or something. And I did Kuiper, of course. I did Kuiper for Max and Marcellus.
Larry and I are big fans of Mel Kuiper, right, Larry?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Dave doing Boomer and Sass doing Kuiper. It was always hilarious.
Now, you saw recently Caliendo does a Kuiper now.
No.
You saw that.
Does he do the whole ball skills and stuff like that?
I don't know, I take great pride in not just my impersonation of Kuiper, which is really a caricature of the man, but the character that's built on it, right? I mean, but then again, it's obvious, like a rambling buffoon who ranks everything in draft speak. It's not it's not rocket science to come up with that. So while I like Caliendo's thing that he does. I think mine's better, but there are parts that he did that are pretty funny, obviously. I mean, he's brilliant in his own right. So,
give us a little taste of Kuiper if you can.
Flattered.
Can you maybe break down Dave as a radio personality in the voice of Mel Kuiper? Like, where would Dave go in a mock radio draft?
Well, you look at this kid. He came out of Indiana University. Had a lot of questions about him. He came out west. Yeah, under the tutelage of Jimmy Kimmel, Mancha, Adam Carolla, did a lot of things there, a lot of writing for a late-night comedy show. And he transitions into the radio, man. How's he going to do? He's going to be on Kevin and Bean with Adam and Carolla doing a sports guy segment. Is he just a sports guy? He gets his own show on ESPN LA out in Los Angeles. That thing flops. He can't hack it there. They relegate him to podcasting. Dude, he handles it like a true professional would. And you look at Dave, you think, a lot of questions surrounding him and no off-field questions. He got a great motor, brings his lunch pail to work. A guy, not a lot of measurables. He's not going to wow you with a great 40 time. He's not going to throw the ball 75 yards downfield like a Marcus Russell. But he could fit in if he gets drafted by a team that has a system in place that can use him, utilize his skills. He's got great ball skills. He can be under center, get that snap, go right back and throw that ball. He can contribute to a winning NFL program. Ball skills.
Now, what about his floppy wrist? Is that any concern, Mel Kuiper? when he runs.
I
his wrist
talked to a
kind of
lot
flops.
of scouts about that. Todd McShay mentions that in his draft evaluation. They didn't move him down on my big board at all. I still got him firmly planted in the 18th round coming out of Indiana. If I was going to start a radio team right now, I think he's a guy that can contribute. And, you know, he's not a guy that's going to be a locker room candidate. He's a good kid. He's going to have a lot of ideas, be able to contribute right away.
Yeah. How about that, Larry?
Floppy wrist or not.
That was fantastic.
That was really good, Seth.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Good job, buddy.
I'm going to cut that up. Use it at the end of the show next week.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice. Because, Sash, you were on our show like years ago. I think I don't know, time goes quick. Probably like 4 years ago or something you were on our show. And then I think you did the Ed show once too, right? You came on with the Ed.
Yeah, the two in my mind are kind of mixed together. I thought that,
Yeah.
I can't remember which one was which, but I don't know.
I'm pretty sure you did them both. Yeah. He usually just, kidnaps
There
the
was
show.
one about baby fights, and I may have been defending we did that game with the Ed and Dave where we'd say, like, okay, members of the 1973 Braves, and they had to go take turns and see who would win. And on the up and up, I did that straight up. I didn't leak any answers to Dave, but of course the Ed accused me of such whenever he lost. So I want to say that I had to defend myself on one of those calls for that.
That sounds about right, yeah. And I seem to recall that when you were on the Ed show, you liked that the show was, some of the tags there for the show, the searchable keywords, were jumping around and having fun. And I seem to recall you were impressed by that the Ed show was about jumping around.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. Who
Like
would?
Yeah, it was great. Now, do you know Adam Rank at all? Have you ever crossed paths with Rank?
No, I have not. I haven't been over to the NFL Network studios. The only time I'm near there is when I'm in downtown LA now at the offices near Staples Center. So, and that's not really close.
Do you still get a chance to keep tabs on Dave and Rank's podcast or Dave's work on NFL.com? Do you still follow him?
Yeah. I don't listen to the podcast as much as I probably should. This season, I probably listened to like 5, 6, maybe 7 episodes, depending on who his guests were and what I had going on. But I do follow a lot of this stuff online, like he does with the What FL or the Sports Car, and I love that stuff because when he was with ESPN and I was seeing him on a daily basis, those were ideas that he had. The Sports Car in particular, and I thought that was a brilliant idea when he mentioned it. So it's nice to see him working at a place that affords him the ability or the funds or whatever you want to say to do those ideas. The stuff that management where he was before.
Yeah, it's nice to see Dave supported by the management finally.
Yeah.
For once. Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, you've seen the Sports Car, right?
Yeah, for those who haven't, it's just Dave driving around a football player in his car, and they talk while he drives.
Yeah, in true Damashek fashion, he interviews them with off-kilter questions such as, "What's your favorite breakfast meat?" or whatever.
Yeah,
it's great.
Loves the breakfast meats. Now we wanted to have some of our listeners requested you and Rank on together so they could trade Damashek stories. But Rank bailing kind of hinders things a little bit. Hopefully he'll be able to show up. But let's start back in the beginning when you first met Dave. Do you remember, what was that like, your first encounter with Damashek?
My first encounter with him wasn't really an encounter with him. Well,
now, Larry just said you don't remember, but I'm sure that had to be a monumental moment in your life, right? Meeting Dave?
Oh, yeah. When he entered the room, I imagine doves fluttered from behind him. Right. Well, when he came over, as anybody who's worked in any radio station would know, that anytime there's a lineup change, it affects everybody. So part of the thing I was doing was learning graphic design with the guy that I mentioned before, and we had to make posters and all kinds of stuff for this, the announcement and this party they had at the Beverly Hills Hotel or whatever, announcing the new lineup and this and that. Crazy, weird stuff. So my first meeting him was graphically in front of a computer, putting his big fat pie face on giant posters, giant EPS files. But I'm trying to think of the first time I met him in person. I don't know. I mean, I remember going over to the shoebox, the original shoebox at the old radio station down in South Central, basically. And it literally was smaller than a walk-in closet, the studio we recorded that thing in when he was first relegated to the aisle of podcasting. And I don't know. I think we were talking about probably quarterbacks and Ben Roethlisberger's merits as the all-time greats. I guess this is one of my first memories of him. Ben Roethlisberger versus Kurt Warner, and I think those are the two focal points of conversation. Of course, Dave thought that Roethlisberger was better, and my contention was that Warner was better. And he was saying something like, oh, Roethlisberger has improvisational skills. He can move out of the pocket. And I said, yeah, but that's because he has to, because Kurt Warner sees that stuff before it happens and pre-snap reads and yada, yada.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that was a boring story. So.
No, sorry. But again, it
recollection.
confirms that everyone suspects that when Dave first meets someone, the first thing he does is talk about Ben Roethlisberger. You know, Ben Roethlisberger. and in fairness, that was pre-rape, right? That was pre-rape. So Ben was still a hero.
Yes, definitely pre-rapist burger, yes.
Yeah. Now, so you and the Dave, you start working. Now, how did he strike you as a fella? You're like, oh, this. Could you understand the word he said, or was it just all Yinzer accent and Yinz guys and go downtown, that kind of thing?
No, I understood him because, by the time I met him personally, I had already listened to the show.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Several times. I mean, so I know that he has such a distinct voice, obviously, that people either love it or hate it, and some people can't get past it. I love it. I think it's unique. I love it. But, yeah, I from the jump, I could tell he was a good guy. And one thing about Dave that I'll say to compliment him is anybody that showed some sort of talent or ambition or willingness to contribute to his show when it was, the afternoon drive new show that was, going to carry the local sports radio station up into the upper echelon of Los Angeles radio. Even then, he was very open to anybody contributing, even if it was some kid manning the website and handing out stickers at an event. He was open to that.
He's a man of the people, that Dave Damashek. Good.
He is. Follow me on Twitter.
Yeah. he keeps his Twitter followers to 66, Larry. It's a tight, it's tight. Can't follow anybody. Yeah. So, yeah, but now what would you say, did Dave have any peculiarities when he worked with you? Did he have any quirks, any odd behaviors, rituals, superstitions, anything like that?
No, not really. I wouldn't say that. No real weird ticks that you wouldn't have
he didn't make you
on air.
He didn't make you pull out all the green M&Ms or anything like that, or keep the.
You ever see him bite his toenails?
Oh God, no! That would be disgusting. I don't think anybody will ever see his feet, and that's good. I don't like feet just as much as he doesn't like them.
What else stood out for you about working with Dave in those days? How was his diet back then? Was he into clean living? Was he a good athlete?
I think he's a lot thinner now than he was then. But, I mean, he's not a guy you ever mistook for somebody that was doing CrossFit or anything like that. I would always hear about, the cannon attached to his shoulder.
Yeah, his left arm.
But I've never seen him spin a pigskin. So I don't know. I mean,
I don't think I've ever seen him throw a football either. Is there any video evidence of Dave throwing a football, Larry? Can you think of any?
I doubt it, dude. He can't even run. There's no way he can throw.
We got to work this out. Now, you weren't around for when they did the Combine, right? That was when he was still on the 710 show, right?
I'm surprised you mentioned that. Yeah, so I was around, but I wasn't a part of that. They went down to Carson, like near the Home Depot Center or something, and did that. And that was one of the things I always wished I could have been a part of. I dig that stuff. That and like celebrity rock and jock stuff. I love that crap. In fact, one of my life goals, or one of the wishes I would wish for if I had a genie in a lamp, would be to participate in a celebrity softball game and just destroy everybody.
Larry, how do you think you would do, Larry, in a celebrity or rock and jock softball game?
I think I'd do pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. You see them at the All-Star break for, like, Major League Baseball. The fences are, like, 200 feet away. They play them like they're girls' fast pitch fields. It's ridiculous.
So are you a softball player, Sass? Do you belong to leagues and stuff?
Yeah, I'm only doing one league a week now. I got a third kid that will be birthed from my wife.
Congratulations.
In about a week here, so not much time for that.
I think so what are the ages of the kids? Because if I recall, I thought you only had one back in the day that I remember. So.
Yeah, I had my son's 6. Well, he's 6.5 if you want to get picky. So he's in first grade. My daughter just turned 2.
Yeah, there you go. So
I got another boy on the way, who we can't even figure out a name for, because all the names I like are cool, and all my wife's names are lame.
What about Damashek?
I think Jean-Claude Van Damashek was mentioned, but rapidly shot down.
What about Larry?
Yeah, Larry. Oh, Larry.
I don't know who would do that to their child. Larry.
Now, what was the worst part of working with Dave in those days? Was there any drawbacks to it, or was it just all puppet shows and candy canes? Did you like it all?
Oh, what did you just say? Something in candy canes?
Puppet shows and candy canes. Was it all great?
Puppet shows and candy canes.
Or were there any drawbacks to working with Dave?
For me, no. I mean, I guess if you wanted to get picky, sometimes you could say that he was picky or he was particular on what he wanted. But for me, who was as particular in what I did or took as much pride in the work that I did, it wasn't too much of a problem. Kind of if you have a hard-ass boss, but you're a really diligent worker, it doesn't bother you that he's a hard-ass because you got your shit together. But one of our guys that was in the office that kind of worked, he like uploaded the file and typed in the description for a long time or something. He, I'm not going to mention his name, and he had a lot of stuff going on in his life, but he screwed things up quite a bit. And
it wasn't Joyless Joey, was it?
No, not him.
You know Joyless Joey?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember I took pictures of him painting his almost naked body red.
That's right.
That was fun.
And he was a health nut. He liked to work out, Joyless Joey.
Oh, there's no chance that was true. There's no way.
Because who else was on in those days at the 710? Like Brian Singer, right? Was that a fella?
Dave Singer was a producer.
Brian Singer's a director, right? The X-Men, yeah.
Brian Singer, I don't know. Didn't they have
he made the X-Men movies.
A movie about him?
Yeah, he made the X-Men movies. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Dave Singer, yeah.
Dave Singer, and Dave Singer still produces. He produces Max and Marcellus. He's a great guy. And then you had, let's see, who else was on there? Oh, Steve Mason had, it was the Steve Mason show was on at the time before Damashek, and
he had sideline reporter Sarah. I don't know if you knew her. Remember, she was around.
Oh yes.
And didn't he have another fella? Who was the fella who was like always said he was a great athlete and he was in great shape? And
A. Martinez, I think.
Dave.
A. Martinez.
A. Martinez.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, when they did that combine competition down in Carson, and he is in phenomenal shape, by the way. That guy is.
But didn't he almost die at the combine? Like he fell? And...
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. He fell or something and scraped his shin and got that turf stuff in it or dirt or something, and it got infected. And he was in real bad shape, like for a while there, like really.
We can
bad.
all laugh now because he's fine, but at the time it wasn't funny. But
Right.
I'm sure Dave was sweating it that he almost killed a fella at the combine. He's like, oh, this isn't good. Yeah.
I'm sure he was very concerned.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Sass, this will be because you emailed me right before. You sent me a message on Facebook saying, "Hey, I don't really have any embarrassing stories about Dave." And that's why we were counting on Rank to provide the, the pepper, to spice it up. But so Dave, he's just a good fella. That's the bottom line. People always ask, "Hey, what's Dave like?" He's just a good dude. Right?
He is a good dude, and he's very much like his. He's not different on air or anything like that.
No, that's exactly right. The guy you hear on the air, that's who he is.
Mhm. Very obsessive about trivial matters and very opinionated on things that don't matter, and all those other things. Yeah.
So, Sass, what else are you up to these days? You say you're still working for the National at ESPN. They're doing the stuff, but you play the softball. You got the third kid on the way. Remember in the old days, you were bartending too back in those days, right?
Yeah, before up until a little over 2 years ago, when I got on full time with ESPN Radio nationally, I was doing the thing at the radio station 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, and bartending on the weekends, and I did that for like 4 years almost. So working 7-day weeks, which boohoo, woe is me. So that was exhausting. But yeah, I don't bartend anymore. I don't even really miss it. The only thing I miss about it, I guess, is a little bit of social interaction or the regulars that I no longer get to talk to. But
Larry, he means just chatting with the fellas and stuff.
No,
Larry took it the wrong way.
That's guy code for there's a lot of hot broads and it's just fun to look at them.
No, not at all.
Really, not a lot of hot broads in L.A. at the bars?
Well, look, I'll shoot straight with you. I'm sure this was mentioned before, but I worked at an Outback Steakhouse, so it wasn't like
all right. See, I forgot.
It wasn't like I was at the club, bartending down in Hollywood.
But Outback in L.A. still has hot people in it. It has to.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's hot people that come through, a lot more than come through my office desk anymore. I mean, if you put it that way.
Hey, have you ever met Rachel Lee Cook?
Rachel Lee Cook. Any celebrity interactions with the Sass? Have you run into any famous people in your L.A. travels?
Not non-sports.
Yeah.
Non-sports.
Actors, actresses.
Do wrestlers count?
Yes, they do.
Here they do.
Yeah, we're big wrestling fans.
Most of those that I meet would be ones that come into the radio station, which so I still work over there in the office suite next to the radio station, so I still see some of them sometimes, but it's not as frequent as it was when I was working for the radio station. So I've met like Stone Cold or Big Show.
Ooh, nice.
Mike the Miz. Met him.
Awesome.
Yeah, I agree that like the Michael Irvins of the world or the Stephen A. Smiths of the world don't count when they walk through. I don't really get out.
Kaylee Cuoco.
Nope.
Larry always asks Kaylee Cuoco.
Never met her. I see them. I see a lot of celebrities all the time, but especially downtown. But I am the furthest from somebody who's a celebrity gawker that you could ever meet. Like, unless it's Bruce Campbell or a wrestler, I will not approach any kind of celebrity.
I wouldn't approach them, but I'd be like, God damn, that's Cameron Manheim, and she just walked past me.
Nice Cameron Manheim reference. A lot of the young kids out there know who that is. But any experience with even just seeing someone from afar, or whether they're coming to the radio station, of a really good-looking lady, star, like celebrity actress or model or something, where you're just like, holy hell, that's a good-looking lady.
Yeah, Ronda
Rousey. That would be nice. Elisha Dushku.
Ooh.
She was in studio when Rick Fox was doing something with one of the LA shows than a year ago.
Did you ever watch The League on FX?
Yes, I love that show.
Well, last night, I always watch it when I go to sleep at night on the little iPad there, or the tablet, and last night I watched the Eliza Dushku episode again.
Where she's the trainer or fitness trainer?
The Krav Maga instructor.
Yeah, she's a stone cold fox.
Oof.
Yeah.
It's nice to hear. Very. And her name's just fun to say. Eliza Dushku.
Right.
Probably not even
Although
her
it's,
real name.
I wanted to call her Dana because that's I know her from True Lies.
Oh, see, I didn't even realize she was the daughter in True Lies.
That's right.
I
Dana!
So you do Kuiper and Schwarzenegger. Very good.
Well, yeah, who doesn't,
Get
right?
to the chopper.
Remember she's on the crane over the skyscraper? The guy,
I saw that so long ago, I don't even remember.
Come, girl, give me the key. No way, you wacko.
Now, are you keeping up with Schwarzenegger? Are you still a fan? What was that movie he had this year with, like, Johnny Knoxville?
Johnny Knoxville or whatever? I didn't see that. It got
The
panned.
Last
and
Stand.
The Last Stand.
I wanted to see it because it's Arnold, but I hardly get out anymore.
It's on Netflix
I've seen this
right
year.
now.
Oh, it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
Oh, really?
You can
Already?
watch it on Netflix.
I've seen a few movies this year. This Is the End. What's that one where it's like the War of the Monsters, the big with Charlie Hunnam?
Pac Rim.
Pacific Rim, yeah.
Yeah.
I
haven't
just
seen
took
either
my
of those.
kid to that movie, Walking with Dinosaurs. That was exciting.
What the
Didn't see
hell
that
is
one either.
that?
Yeah, is it animated or? Like,
Yeah, is
It's
it
like-
animated?
It's like Milo and Otis meets dinosaurs, I guess.
Oh, interesting.
Ah.
Milo and Otis meets dinosaurs.
Uh,
So,
Kids.
anything else in the entertainment world catching your eye these days? Any movies or TV shows you really like? Because we always like to talk movies, TV here.
Like, what am I into? I like I said, I don't see much movies anymore. In fact, I hate myself that I haven't seen Anchorman 2 yet. I don't care what anybody says about it. It's almost a civic duty that I should see that in theaters.
I'll be honest,
Because the first
I would
one
hate
is my
you if you
favorite
did.
movie of all time. If I saw
Why?
it, you'd hate
Anchorman's your favorite movie?
Great.
I think the jokes miss for the most part. I don't know.
I thought it was funny, the first one. I didn't see the second
That's
one.
what everybody thought about the first one when they saw it in theaters, and I remember because I was in there the only one crying laughing because I got it. I got it from the jump. It just took everybody longer to get it.
I'm just so tired of Will Ferrell. Isn't like Will Ferrell just not funny?
Step
now?
Brothers is such a better movie, though.
Step Brothers is awesome. I'll give you that.
Ugh, it's one of the best.
It is awesome,
it's
and
Citizen Kane,
I quote
Rear
it
Window, and
almost
Step
as
Brothers.
much as
I'm talking comedies.
My thing
When
is,
you're ranking
it
comedies.
can't. My thing is, it can't be bad. It can't be bad. It can be not as good as the first one, or it can be mildly humorous at worst, but it can't be like bad. I've heard people say it's horrible.
Yeah.
I just imagine a lot of recycled material that wasn't funny the first time.
Yeah, that's the worst. Whenever they do, like you saw it in all the Austin Powers movies, and like anytime there's a sequel of a comedic franchise, they just do the same jokes over and over and over. And it's like,
Well, yes, I agree that it may be recycled material, but the second part of what you said, in that it wasn't funny the first time, is categorically false.
yeah, I liked a lot of the humor in the first.
But moving on.
Yeah. What about TV? Now, I know you're a big fan of the Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Do you watch Veep on the HBO? Do you watch that?
No, I don't. I don't get HBO. We got Showtime for a while, and we just canceled it because we're poor.
Yeah. But HBO, Veep's very good, and she looks spectacular still. How old is she?
I love Elaine.
Her
She's
birthday
so
was
great.
like yesterday.
She's still getting it done.
I'll
I
tell
don't
you
know
how
what
old
she is.
But
Yeah.
5'3".
53.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Larry told me earlier that Susanna Hoffs turned 55 today, right?
Yeah, I think it was today. I think it was today.
So that made us all feel very old.
Yeah.
My cousin lives in Santa Barbara, and her next door neighbor is like a personal chef for Julia Louis-Dreyfus out there, and she's apparently like really cool.
You know how much
chick.
money
Very
she?
nice.
You know how much money she has?
I'd say between a lot and a lot.
She's like $3 billion.
With a B.
Wow.
Yeah.
Her I didn't know this either until Larry told me a couple months ago, but her family's in the oil industry, right, Larry?
Really?
I think they have something to do with that Dreyfus Fund. Some kind of investment banking or something
I thought
her
it was
family
oil.
was in.
All right. Yeah, maybe banking. Yeah.
She didn't have that. She's not heir to the ice cream throne, right?
I don't believe
Dreyfus,
so. Yeah.
Dreyfus ice cream?
I didn't even know there was a Dreyfus ice cream.
Oh, it's Dreyer's. Dreyer's.
Oh,
I think it's Breyers.
Breyers, yeah.
Wasn't
So you're a
there
little off.
both Dreyer's and Breyers?
But I saw Larry tweeted earlier that you were very excited, Larry. Now, Sass, I don't know. Do you have Yingling beer out in California? You guys don't have it out there, right?
I've heard of it. I think you could probably get it at some bougie, craft beer place.
It's a local Pennsylvania beer. And Larry, you say you tweeted out something. They have the ice cream, Yingling ice cream.
Yeah, they're making ice cream now. I didn't know that. And I just went on the Twitter and I saw that Yingling favorited that tweet. And I said,
oh,
holy
look at
fucking
you.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Warn it.
Very good, Larry.
Beer-flavored ice cream. I would try that.
So what else are you watching on the TV then, Sass? Wrestling, of course, right? You watch the wrestling?
Yeah, WWE finally just recently got a little bit interesting. It's always kind of a roller coaster of boring or interesting. Right now, I think the road to WrestleMania is pretty good. They're doing some good things.
What really jump-started it was Brock Lesnar coming back. For me, that
Lesnar. Daniel Bryan, I don't know if you saw WWE just a few days ago, Monday Night Raw, the pop that he got at the end. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I missed it. I heard it was very loud, but I missed it. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I haven't seen pop like that since, Stone Cold. But
it was weird. The whole entire crowd was, screaming yes. I know they normally do it, but it was different this time. They were rabid about it.
It was deafening. It was huge.
Yeah.
And I guess I heard that he got concussed in that match and doesn't even remember most of it. So it's hey, congratulations, the biggest pop you've ever got, and you couldn't remember it. So yeah, I watch wrestling. I usually go on and off between TNA and WWE, or sometimes I go on hiatus from both if the storylines are real stale. TNA, I kind of root for it, but it's just terrible.
Yeah, I can't take the TNA. But before we get off the wrestling, let's get your opinion on a few things here. Yay or nay, Bella Twins? Where do you weigh in on that?
The one with the little Golden Globes or the big Golden Globes?
Either one.
I'd get down with both of those.
There you go. Larry's Larry doesn't like either of them. I like them. I think they're attractive ladies, but Larry, no, not so much.
I take the Funkadactyls any day.
The Funkadactyls, yeah, they're good.
No.
My personal favorite, and I think Larry likes AJ Lee as well, but my personal favorite is Oksana. She's rarely ever on, but when she is, look out. Oksana.
Oksana.
Yeah.
The whole women's division, they should just go back to having the women be managers and arm candy, and they can catfight and everything, and we like that, but putting them in matches and stuff, it's embarrassing to watch pretty girls fight.
And the problem is the ring is just so big, and they're so small that they throw each other on the ropes, and they got to run for 2 minutes to get to the ropes. And
right.
If they were doing it in a smaller ring, it would be better. And also, they always do these 12-woman tag matches, 6-on-6, and then they end in 30
terrible.
seconds.
Yeah, any women's match gets about 2 minutes of airtime.
But some of them, I think, are actually good
terrible.
performers. I think, Larry mentioned, the Funkadactyls, they're pretty good in ring. They do some crazy stuff. And AJ Lee, I think, is a decent performer. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, some of them, I don't know. I could do without it. I will say this. For what TNA lacks in any kind of production value or interesting storylines, they've got the hottest fox in wrestling right now in Velvet Sky.
I've never even heard of her.
Oh, my goodness.
Velvet Sky.
Velvet Sky and Miss Tessmacher. I would just throw quarters at each.
Wasn't that lady from Superman? She was Lex Luthor's secretary.
I don't
really?
know.
I'm pretty sure.
Maybe that's where she got the moniker.
Oh, I'm looking at Velvet Sky. God, yeah, I'm a fan.
Velvet Sky and Brooke Tessmacher, no doubt.
She's all right.
One
you're getting a little ridiculous here, but all right.
Oh, says the man who's in love with Tina Fey.
Put a set of nerd glasses on her and give her a fucking cat, and you'd be driving to wherever she lives to stalk her.
Right.
How do you still tell? Oh, wait, there it is. I just
pick her up at a local Applebee's, and she's not worthy.
That's exactly right.
Gnawing on a plate of riblets.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Velvet Sky better than this Tessmacher lady.
Let me look at Tessmacher.
Velvet Sky is a much better face than Tessmacher, but Tessmacher has some things going on for her.
They're way behind Oksana in my book.
It kind of looks like...
now, what about the Wyatt family? Larry and I seem to enjoy the Wyatt family most times.
Yeah, I dig that. It's different. I like it. It's kind of a throwback to when, it's not so cartoony. I mean, they're trying to be a little bit more gritty or real. It's so PG nowadays. Yeah, it's trying to be a little creepy.
Hold on a second, Sass. Larry, can you hear him, or is he breaking up to you? Is it my connection?
No, I can hear him.
All right, it must just be me, so go ahead.
It might have been my mic piece rubbing against my beard.
Oh, you have a beard now. How about that?
Oh, yeah, I rock the beard. You lose about 10 pounds when you rock a beard.
But you were saying you like the Wyatt family.
Yeah, the Wyatt family. I really like, let's see, I love Ziggler. He's out right now.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's great. I liked CM Punk, but I liked him more when he was doing his whole thing where he was more of a heel. I like Damian Sandow. I think is hilarious. I love him.
He's great. The elbow of disdain.
Yes. I like that guy. So, yeah, those are some of the things.
And I also like Antonio Cesaro. I think he's tremendous.
Yeah. He's stuck in that real American abortion.
Yeah, I know. All right, so that's the wrestling. What else on the TV? Here's a show I bet you would like, Zach, if you'd watch it. What's it called, Larry, that I love? Ink Masters.
Yeah, me and my wife watched that. It's one of the few shows that my wife and I both like.
See? Do I know my sass, or do I know my... I had a feeling you'd like Ink Masters. I love it. Larry always makes fun of me, but I dig it.
Now, why did you think I would like that?
I don't know. It just feels like your kind of show. I don't know.
Really? Because I have no tattoos or any desire.
Neither do I, but I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I even follow some tattoo thing on Instagram because I just like cool tattoos, I guess. I don't know.
Would you ever get a tattoo?
No, I wouldn't. Nope. I mean, I don't even think I would, I don't even like saying this, but like if one of my children died or something. Oh,
my goodness.
Really,
no, all right, let's not go there.
I don't even think I'd get a tattoo in memoriam of I just don't have any desire to do it. I don't know.
What about Mel Kiper on your back and ball skills underneath?
Well, I think I could tattoo ball skills somewhere, and that would be good. Might be a little bit painful, though.
What else on the TV? What about Hell's Kitchen? Do you like that kind of stuff? Gordon Ramsay?
No. Let's go with, good shows that I like first, and then I'll get to the bad ones that I like. Good shows. So, Sons of Anarchy.
Yes.
I've never watched it, but Larry loves it. He thinks it's the greatest.
I've been on that show since the beginning, and I love it. I love American Horror Story.
Yeah. That's Larry again.
Justified, I'll say I've been watching since the beginning, but it took me a hell of a long time to warm up to that show, and I still don't think it's great, but I like it enough to say that I think it's good now.
I've only seen one episode, and it was from season 3 or 4, and I was impressed, but that's all I've seen is just the one episode. So.
Yeah, I think it was just, it took a while for me to warm up to it. Those are the shows, let's see, those shows I'm watching now. I'm thinking of any other ones. So Homeland just got done. We watched that, me and my wife.
Yeah. I like that lady on there. Who's that lady? Baccarin, right? Marina Baccarin, right? The wife of the guy? Yeah, she's the wife of the main dude on Homeland.
Oh, yeah. I love her. You like her?
Yeah, Marina Baccarin. That's her name, right, Larry?
Yeah, from V.
Yeah, and she was on Firefly back in the day, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like her. She's easy on the eyes.
Yep.
What is she anyway? Is she Hispanic
Brazilian.
or Russian? She's Brazilian.
Brazilian.
Oh, sweet as candy.
I'd break it off. I would break it off twice.
That's Larry's catchphrase. Break it off.
Break it off.
Yeah.
All right, like a Heath bar or something.
You don't ask. It's not.
All right.
You don't want to know.
Mysterious. Rocking.
But what else? What about? Do you like Big Brother?
No, never seen an episode. Never seen Big Brother. Never seen The Bachelor. never seen American Idol, although we watched The Voice, and I do like The Voice, although I have to fast forward through most of that show.
I got a question about TV.
Yeah, go ahead, Larry.
I saw a commercial earlier. I've seen this commercial several times. It's some new show on, I think, the Discovery Channel. It's called Appalachian Outlaws. And apparently...
Is that the same? Larry also likes Amish Mafia. So Appalachian Outlaws.
I do like Amish Mafia.
You like that show?
No. I like it. It's so bad. It's badly acted. It's fun to watch. It's kind of funny.
Okay.
Like, it's so poorly put together. But
he also likes Breaking Amish. Who's that girl on Breaking Amish? Ivy, or what do you like? What's her name?
What the fuck was Ava, I think. Eva, yeah. Eva, something like that. Oh, my God. But anyways, listen, there's this Appalachian Outlaws show, and what it is somewhere in the Appalachian Mountains, somewhere in the forest, there's something. And everybody's trying to get it, and they're shooting at each other because nobody wants the other guy to have it. But I don't know what the fuck they're looking for out in the mountains. And I just wanted somebody to tell me, what are they searching for? This show's been on like 3 weeks. I still have no idea what they're looking for out there through the commercials.
A toothbrush?
I doubt it. I seriously doubt it.
What about ghost shows? Larry watches a lot of ghost shows as well.
No, I don't watch the ghost shows. I'll tell you, one of the most horrible shows that I watch all the time, and it's partly because it's on all the time, is Triple D, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives with Guy Fieri.
Oh, no, my God, I will hang up on you.
I watch that and just salivate. It's just,
How can you take that guy, though? It's like, so annoying.
You know what I forgot to mention to Brandon, but I think that Guy Fieri and Rachel Ray are doing a show together of some kind.
Yeah,
I know.
They've done a show like...
I love Rachel Ray.
Brandon hates it. You know Cousin Brandon, right?
Yeah.
He was just on the show before you got here.
He used to cross-post his Lost blog posts.
Oh, that's right. And we were doing his music review show. And his best music of 2013. And yeah, he hates Rachel Ray. He can't stand her.
Oh, come on. You're telling me you wouldn't want to have her wake you up with gourmet breakfast in bed and cook you cannoli in the evening or something?
Nope.
Oh, goodness. She's like this little roly-poly pudge ball of cuteness.
I'll be honest with you.
So
like I've never really watched Rachel Ray. I don't know much about her, but I'd bang the shit out of Rachel Ray.
All right, Larry, calm down.
I would.
You calm down, Larry.
You would.
Yeah. I would.
She's almost like 4'11" too, which I don't know. I'm 6'3", and I can't. I love the short girls. I don't like tall girls.
Too.
Anybody
Larry's
5'5".
6'5". He's like Chewbacca. He's huge. Yeah.
You know, I think most guys are like that, especially if you were tall, like during your formative pubescent years and you had a growth spurt or something. My theory on it is I always, early on kind of resented my tall, angular frame, to put it nicely. And so I grew to like the things in women that that was the opposite of the things I hated about myself. So I'm pale, I'm tall, so I like shorter, tan women with dark hair. You
must love Snooki from Jersey Shore.
Oh my goodness. I would rip that in half.
I'm going to go on record and say this. Now, this is being recorded for a lifetime, from here on out, Mike Dell, but I'll be honest with you. I like the fat Snooki better than the thin Snooki. I did. I thought she looked better fat.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like them. I don't like them real skinny, but I think she looks good now.
But your theory is that taller fellows prefer shorter ladies, in a sense.
I think usually, yeah.
Interesting.
I dated a girl once. She was almost like 6 foot tall. It felt weird. I didn't like it.
That's.
Remember that episode of Seinfeld where George wanted to be with a really tall lady?
Yeah. Well, he was puny though. He's like 4'3", like you, Mike Dell.
Yeah.
You're a short guy, huh, Dell?
Yeah, he's like 5'2".
Well, no wonder you like that behemoth Sasquatch Tina Fey.
But my
See?
phone's a break. I can't hear a word. It's all like pops and buzzes.
Well,
you guys
call
still hear
back
each other?
in?
Yeah.
I
All
can
right.
I
Give
can
me a
call
second.
back in.
No, you're fine. I hear you fine, Sass.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Mike Dell's janky ass.
I was just taking another shot at Tina Fey, of course. So.
Yeah, I heard you. I agree with you 100%. Now, Sass, we only got a couple minutes left, and we're waiting for Dell to call back in. But I believe you're a big Raiders fan, aren't you?
I am. Yeah.
And listen,
Can you tell from the sound of my voice that I really am too?
yeah, you sound disappointed and disgusted and everything. But I made a declaration earlier, about a month or two ago, that really upset Mike Dell. But I thought that I've been looking for a team, and I've declared that the Oakland Raiders are going to be my team, and Mike Dell is not happy about it at all. So
Really?
yeah. So
Now
when
we
he
need to
gets
talk
back
about
here, yeah, when he gets back, you tell him why I'm justified in picking the Oakland Raiders as my new team. All right, here he is.
Okay. All right.
All right. Mike Dell.
In the meantime.
Yeah, my phone's still a train
Sorry.
wreck, but it's a little better. But I heard you were telling Sass about the Raiders. That you're. No, what do you think of that, Sass? That Larry adopted the Raiders.
Now there are rules that need to be considered here
All right.
that may not be officially written down anywhere. I know, and back in the day, going back to referencing Damashek in our conversation, we did the fan conduct policy.
Now, in fairness, though, Larry was never a Steelers fan, right? Larry, you could care less about the Steelers.
I hate the Steelers.
Yeah, so it's not like
Okay.
he's switching allegiance. He just never had an
Right.
allegiance. So
That was my first question. Like, what is the reason you never had a pro? How can you never have a pro football team that you like?
I don't know. I mean, I guess when I was younger, I guess I rooted for the Steelers by default, but I wouldn't say I ever loved them. You know, I wouldn't run out and like get a Steelers tattoo or anything. And as I gotten older, the only team I really cared about was my fantasy football team. I couldn't have gave a shit about anybody in the NFL. But I figure I gotta run with somebody. And I put a lot of months of thought into this and research, and I had stats.
really? Research.
Yeah, it was phone calls, and it was a whole thing. But, yeah, I decided the Oakland Raiders. That's where I'm going to go from this point forward. Raider Nation. Now, what are the rules?
Well, thank you for setting the stage there. So really, I guess if you haven't had a team and you're just looking to sort of adopt a first team, I would guess that the only rule is once you pick, that's it. You can't. There's no going back. I mean, this is your child now. Like this is legally
This is for life.
You know, this is for life. You can't switch due to inclement weather or sickness or health or all that stuff. This is a marriage. Like most
and
of
also,
us, like
I think to credit Larry, he picked a team down low. He didn't pick a champion. You know, he didn't say I'm going to be a front runner, and I think that's also good. You can't pick a champion and say, oh yeah, I'm a fan now. No. You got to put in your time.
Sort of, yeah, I think you technically could, if you wanted to, become a Patriots fan, and I couldn't really, disagree with that. I mean, it's you're fortunate enough to not have been born into your fandom, right? I was born into being a Raiders fan, an A's fan, and a Golden State Warriors fan. I had no choice in the matter. It was passed down through my bloodlines, and there's two things about that. One, the obvious, I didn't get to pick. But two, I do think that it results in a more, diehard's not the word, but it's as much a part of me as, my skin and bones, right? Like it's woven into the fabric of who I am. Now for you, that may not be the case. I don't know. I honestly don't know how somebody who elects late in life to choose a team can have the same sort of passion or history or deep-rooted, so to speak, fandom that somebody who was born into it. But I'll reserve my judgment so long as the team you pick is the team you stick with. And the fact that you're choosing a team that's been awful and is still in the middle of that awful period, I think lends credibility to your choice. Like you couldn't possibly be accused of being a front runner.
That's right.
That is true.
But Sass, as a Raiders fan, is there any hope? Do you see a light at the end of the tunnel? Is Larry making a wise decision?
Mike Dell, wait. Before we go any further, We might have Adam Rank.
Oh.
I don't know. There's a California number on hold. I'm going to bring him on.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it's right. All right. 707 area code. Is this Adam Rank? Hello.
Guess not.
All right. Fair enough. My bad. I'll put him back on hold. I don't know who else would be calling from California, but...
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
If that is you, Rank, on the line, hit the little 1 button and put your little hand up, and Larry will talk to you again. All right.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so do you think Larry made a wise decision in selecting the Raiders?
Well, again, I mean, if you just look at it from the outside looking in, I guess you could say it's a foolish decision. But then again, we're talking about being a fan, short for fanatic, and sort of foolishness is at the heart of being a fan in any case.
They just got some players I like, too. You know, they just got some players I like now.
Like, who do you like? Darren McFadden? Is that who you said before?
I like McFadden. I like Jamarcus Russell, Denarius Moore. They got a good young team. They're ready.
Wait, you like Jamarcus Russell?
I do like Jamarcus Russell, yeah. Why not?
Now, he hasn't played for the team in quite a while, right?
Yeah.
I hear you, but,
Okay.
He was like a colossal failure. Like one of the worst.
He's not. He was doing fine. He was doing good, and then he got hurt.
You know what, guys? I will say this on Jamarcus, is that after I think it was his second year in the league, he started like the final 8 games or something.
Oh, no.
It was the rookie season for Matt Ryan and Joe Flacco, and Jamarcus Russell had a better quarterback rating than those guys.
High praise indeed.
Listen.
Now, he wasn't great, but in the very, very beginning, he wasn't categorically awful. He showed some signs, but obviously the wheels fell off, and I think the main problem with him was he wasn't the leader of men. But be that as it may.
I meant Terrell Pryor. I did not mean Jamarcus Russell. I meant Terrell Pryor.
There you go.
Yes.
All right, that makes sense. Right.
Yes. Yeah, I like Terrell Pryor. My bad.
I don't like Terrell Pryor, but...
Well, I'm looking at Jamarcus Russell's stats. In 25 games started, he was 7-18, 52% completion, 4,000 yards, 18 touchdowns, 23 interceptions.
I meant Pryor this year. He was doing fine this year, and then he got hurt.
Yeah, Terrell Pryor's a local fella. He's from just down the road from us. So
yeah, but if you watch those games, he's not a quarterback. He can't read a defense at all. I mean, at all. Yeah. And then kudos to the Raiders coaching staff. You asked if they are, despite their cap restrictions and utter lack of talent on that roster, they did a pretty good job with that team, to be honest with you. If that coaching staff didn't do a B+ job, then that team would have been 0-16. They were that bad. Talent.
Now, Larry, will you and Sass become Raider buddies now? Will you commiserate? Will you guys communicate during the season and celebrate Raider wins and mourn Raider losses together?
I would hope.
Yeah.
Hey, look, if you're in, then I'm in with you. You're part of the nation. You're with us. We ride till you die.
Stuff? Are you on Twitter?
Win, lose, or tie, Raider till I die.
I hope no tie, but are you on Twitter? Can I know we're Facebook buddies and everything, but I don't know. Do you have a Twitter account? Do you do that stuff?
Yep.
Oh. Is it at Skylar the Sass?
Yeah. Skylar the Sass is my Twitter handle. I actually only started Twitter when I was with Dave. It was a way for people to communicate to the show, and he didn't want to do it. It wasn't until shortly after I jumped on there that he was like, hey, it's pretty cool. And
I think next year, I think next year whenever the Raiders win, Larry, you and the Sass should come on and recite the Autumn Wind as a Raider.
Yeah.
Oh,
we'll probably do that twice.
Yeah.
Do our best John Facenda voice.
It'd be great times. Well, Sass, I guess we're out of show. We've already been on here for a while, and I guess Rank can't make it. So, maybe we'll try and get you guys together at some other point. But anything else going on in the world of Sass that you'd like to tell the kids about? Anything you need to plug?
Anything to plug? No, not really.
Any words of wisdom?
Words of wisdom. Don't have kids until you're ready.
Very good.
About that. Because like I said, I got a third one on the way. The first two were on purpose.
Now, right? I mean,
the first two were on purpose.
I'm ready now.
Well, I'm sure it'll be great, and congratulations on the.
Nah, yeah. Honestly, I'm ecstatic to have a third kid. I actually want 4.
What?
I don't know how I'll afford 3 though. So we'll have to see how this goes.
Might have to sell the first 2.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me on. It was fun talking to you guys and reminiscing.
Yeah,
about
sorry,
the good
Rank,
old days
you
with
couldn't
Mr.
make it there, but
Sheckwell.
the showbiz folks, they things change quickly in the world of show business. So,
the way it goes.
Yeah, but Sass, don't be a stranger. We'll keep in touch, and we got to get you and Rank together at some point. So.
Sure. Yeah, hit me up anytime.
Yeah, you and Dave. When was the last time you talked to Dave?
It's been quite a few months. I called him and left a message, and then he left a message, and then I don't know. I just forgot to call him back or something.
Well, maybe once the Super Bowl ends and he has a little free time, we'll get all you fellas on and you can talk. So.
The winter meetings.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, the winter meetings, exactly. All right, Sass. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Sass.
All right, thank you, guys.
Skyler the Sass. You can find him on the Twitters and also on the Facebook. He's good people. Yeah. So, unfortunately, Rank couldn't make it, but what can you do?
Well, he hi-hatted us.
Yeah. He's good people, though. Adam Rank,
I'm going to have to get a hi-hat sound clip, and then I'll just...
Yeah. So we got to thank Sass and Cousin Brandon. I thought the music show was dynamite. I thought it was very enjoyable. And, again, I can't stress this enough. Ritzy Bryan.
Yeah, she is a fine-looking lady, but I got to tell you, I am drained from this show. This one took a lot out of me. It did. I got nothing left in the tank tonight.
I did most of the yapping.
I know. It's just that music it just took me down like 9 notches, man. Honest to God.
Oh no.
Yeah, as miserable as I was before the show, I'm worse now.
Sorry to hear, Larry.
Yeah.
Put on some Natalie Merchant and
slit
get
a
a few
wrist.
beers in you. Yeah. All right. Next week on the show, Pat Piccarelli.
Yeah, everybody loves Pat.
I'm still not sure what we're talking about, but Pat will come
how about porn? I always want to talk to porn, and you never.
I don't know if we want you and Pat trading porn stories.
I bet he has good porn stories.
Although I have a bunch of just tremendous stories from my friend who will remain nameless, but he used to be a private investigator himself. Now he works for the FBI, and he was telling me a bunch of great stories about working domestic cases back in the day. And so anytime there's a lull in the show, I'll bust out one of the stories.
Hey, maybe next week, here's what we'll do. When we have Pat on, maybe I'll pretend like I'm Pat's mustache, and then I'll just keep asking him questions like why you left me and I really miss you and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he's still mustache-free. It's been over 6, 7, 8 months. Still mustache-free. Oh, Larry, real quick, I saw King of Kong as well. We forgot.
Oh, yeah. What did you think of King of Kong?
I thought it was really good, and then I was really into it. And then at the end, I thought the ending was a letdown. It was kind of like, what? That's the end?
Well, I don't even remember how it ended.
It just shows him failing to, that Steve Wiebe guy failing to break the record, and then they put up a little thing at the end. Oh, but then this happened, and then it shows him breaking it on a bit. But it was really kind of a goofy ending. There wasn't a really resolution or anything. And then afterward, Larry, I like to research things. So I'm like, well, how much of this is true? And apparently it was all just made up nonsense.
Oh, really?
Like Billy Mitchell didn't even have the record at the time.
Did?
A guy named Tony Drachel or something had the record. You can look it all up. And so Billy Mitchell wasn't even the champion at the time the documentary was filmed. They manipulated the whole. Originally, the filmmakers told all those guys that are making a movie about just the arcade scene, and they were interviewing everybody. And then when they went to edit the film, they edited into Billy versus Wiebe, and they made Billy look much worse. Even though people say he's not a good dude, you remember this one scene in the movie where they're in the restaurant eating, and they make it look like Billy refuses to go in. He drops off his one buddy, that Steve guy, and then he drives around the other side of the restaurant, like he refuses to go in because Wiebe's eating.
Yeah.
Well, none of that is that happened. But what he was doing was he's parking his car, and then he came in and he bought dinner for Wiebe and everybody. And in the bit about how Wiebe came home and the guys broke into his house to check the Donkey Kong board and everything, that was all a lie. That wasn't true. His grandmother let those guys in the house, and he knew they were coming, and he permitted them to photograph the board and everything. So there's more stuff than that. So it was basically a work of fiction. It was no way a documentary.
Couldn't you just have watched it?
No, I need to know truth. Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
And apparently the guy who owns the Donkey Kong record now is some doctor guy. I think his last name's Chen, but he's just blown the records out of the water. He's set his own record like 3 different times now. He's like 1.2 million or something. He's way up there.
Like, is it just me, or is like Donkey Kong boring after like 10 minutes?
Yeah, once you figure out how to jump the barrel, what else is there?
And grab the hammer once in a while.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I don't know.
But I thought it was great when I was watching. I was like, oh, this is awesome. Yeah. It's all lies.
Yeah. Well, thank you for ruining another movie for us.
Do what I can.
Yep. All right, next week, Pat Piccirilli.
Yep.
You can follow Mike Dell over at the Twitter at Michael Paul Dell. And Skylar the Sass you can follow him as well. All right, Mike Dell. It's been a long ass day. All right. We'll be back next week. Till then, pass the gin, Governor.
It revolves around this 100-year-old bag who kept telling her tale of love and what she learned from DiCaprio and how it saved her life and he saved her life. But when we meet her, like I say, she's an old bag. She's being pushed around in a wheelchair by her fair granddaughter, grandniece, who knows,
right.
great-granddaughter, who knows what.
Great-granddaughter.
Point is, this poor girl, this lovely young lass, is busy pushing, so busy tending to her incontinent great-grandmother that she has no life of her own. She has to live by this lady's rules and stare at this old lady's pictures all the time of the grand life she lived, riding horses and flying planes and traveling the world over. Oh, how she learned to live. The kids, the guys looking for the money. Who is it? Not Bill Pullman. Who am I thinking?
Paxton.
Bill Paxton and that gang. They're hearing the story for the first time. Jaws on the floor. I never let it in. I knew about it, but I never let it in. But then he lets it in. But this poor redhead, she's heard it. She's heard it. This ginger's heard this tale. Is sick from hearing the story. Half her life's been spent listening to this story. The other half has been changing the adult diapers on this 100-year-old lady. And so then we find out that she's had this jewel of the sea, or whatever it's called, this priceless jewel, stashed away the whole time. After she tells the story, she feels like, all right, now I finally have purged it. I'm out on the sea with these people. I've now relieved myself of this weight that's been on my shoulders all these years. And now you know that Jack blah 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 really was a man, Jack Sparrow or whatever his name is. All right, so she's fine. So she's oh, I still have that blue diamond. She finishes. What's her punctuation? She goes out to the edge of the boat and throws it into the sea. Gets rid of it. Give it to the redhead. Give it to the ginger who's been caring for you all these years. You creep. No, I'm going to throw it to the bottom of the sea. Oh, isn't that wonderful? Except that your poor great-granddaughter, who's wasted her whole stinking life on you, hearing your stinking decades-old stories about some guy who may or may not have existed, who's also at the bottom of the sea. Now she doesn't get anything out of it. How about you a little something for the effort, you old bag, you senile old selfish creep.
I would have tossed her right in with it.
If the ginger sees that deed, that's the first move, and there's no court in the land that would convict her.
Oh no, Grandma fell over the side of the boat. Who's going to try that?
Well, that's the bad news. The good news is, Bill Paxton, I'm free this weekend. Let me start my life, you know? What an outrage.
Thank you very much.